Chapter 236. The Ghost Valley Envoy had caught up. Little Fox Chi-hwa turned around and saw the two Ghost Valley Envoy flapping their wings above the forest. His eyes were filled with deep hatred. The appearance of these two Ghost Valley envoys meant that the entire Fire Fox tribe had been destroyed by them. Chi-hwa's father, Lu-hwa, had also been killed by them. They're catching up. Long Yu's heart sank. The two Ghost Valley winged envoys were powerful existences at the 7th level of the true spirit realm, and their greatest advantage was that they could fly. This meant that the two Ghost Valley envoys were in an invincible position. Demonic beasts at rank 7 true spirit realm. Who are they coming for? Mo Fengming's face darkened when he saw the situation above the forest. No matter who they are coming for, if we don't unite and fight back, we'll all die, Long Yu said in a low voice. The Ghost Valley envoys were most likely here to kill Little Fox Chi-hwa. However, how could they let the few human cultivators go? To the two Ghost Valley envoys, Long Yu, Mo Fengming, and Lu Yuan did not have much fighting power. But they're flying in the sky. How are we going to deal with them? If we keep running like this, they'll catch up. Lu Yuan used her movement technique, alluring dance. Her speed was not slow and she could barely keep up with Long Yu, who had slowed down. However, no matter how fast they ran, they could not be faster than the two Ghost Valley envoys flying in the sky. Furthermore, there was a large group of ferocious demonic beasts eyeing them from both sides. We can attack now. We can't let them leave Butterfly Valley. The two Ghost Valley envoys looked at each other and nodded. Then, they swooped down towards Little Fox Chi-hwa, who was leading the charge. At the start, the two fellows were flying too high, so Long Yu and the rest could not see them clearly. Only now, when they swooped down, did the three of them finally see what the two Ghost Valley winged envoys looked like. They were two humanoid demonic beasts with wings and feathers on their bodies. Their hands were very short, and it could be deduced that they did not usually use their arms. The most eye-catching part of them was their pair of wings. To be able to fly freely in the sky before reaching the heavenly being's secret realm, apart from ordinary birds, only these bird-type demonic beasts could do so. Of the two Ghost Valley winged envoys, one of them had grayish-white wings dotted with some black spots, giving it a sinister appearance. The other wing was bright red, as if it was formed from blood. It was extremely bloody. The Ghost Valley wings that I obtained were originally pure white. However, because they were modified by the 9 underworld dragon seal with the laws of the moon, they became gray wings and were engraved with 9 underworld runes. A thought flashed through Long Yu's mind, and just at this moment, he suddenly felt the lunar wings behind him move restlessly. What was going on? Long Yu's eyebrows furrowed slightly. He sensed that the vague consciousness generated by the moon wings seemed to have generated an even stronger resentment when the two Ghost Valley wing envoys from the Ghost Sect clan approached them. By the way, the original Ghost Valley wing envoy of my lunar wings was the tribe leader of the Soaring Sky tribe. He was killed by the members of the Ghost Sect clan. Long Yu immediately understood what was going on. After a long time, the two Ghost Valley wing envoys who were flying in the sky turned out to be the enemies of his lunar wings. But even so, what could they do? Long Yu didn't think that the lunar wings could help him in any way. No matter how much he increased his speed, he couldn't outrun the two Ghost Valley wing envoys in the sky. 9-tailed True Soul, Red Fire Whirlwind. Faced with the two Phantom Valley emissaries swooping down, the little fox demon, Crimson Fire, immediately released her 9-tailed true spirit. She flung out 2 Crimson Fire whirlwinds that surged towards the Phantom Valley emissaries. At this moment, the 2 wild fierce wolf leaders who were wandering on both sides finally found an opportunity. 2 giant fierce wolves, with fierce light flashing in their eyes, instantly pounced on Long Yu, Mo Fengming, and Lu Yuan. Together with them were several LV-5 true spirit realm wild fierce wolves. Fight! Long Yu bellowed. The 9 nether dragon spear in his hand was suddenly filled with endless killing intent. He threw it at one of the LV5 true spirit realm wild fierce wolves like a meteor, instantly piercing through its head. Then, Long Yu punched one of the wild fierce wolves. 9 Nether Dragon Fist, Samsara Awakening. The 9 Nether Chi instantly spread out. At this moment, the wild fierce wolf that Long Yu had chosen as his target seemed to be on guard. After all, not long ago, another leader of the wild fierce wolves tribe had died under a similar punch from Long Yu. However, after being on guard for a while, the wild fierce wolf leader realized that there was nothing binding him. Instead, a strange force had pulled down his cultivation by 1 level. LV5 True Spirit Realm. The wild fierce wolves leader had never encountered such a strange situation before. He instantly panicked. Then, Lu Yuan's body turned into a flowing light sword shadow. Holding a pair of scarlet short swords, she performed the residual shadow sword dance that she had just comprehended to the great accomplishment realm. Instantly, 2 flowing light sword shadows crossed each other and emitted the most beautiful sword light. They danced in the air, and in the next moment, the wild fierce wolves leader's head was cut off. Lu Yuan's strength was not only at the LV4 true spirit realm. Like Long Yu, she had comprehended the law of Yin from the heavenly steel's force of heaven and earth. At this moment, when the force of Yin was released, it instantly froze all the wild fierce wolves in the surrounding LV5 true spirit realm, slowing them down. Tai Yin Sword Slash. Unlike Long Yu and Lu Yuan, Mo Fengming did not use the extreme Yin fragments he had obtained to comprehend the laws of extreme Yin. He only used the Tai Yin fragment to forge a Tai Yin sword, a transcendent spirit-level combat weapon similar to the Star Sea Sword. In the hands of Qi Guang from the Falling Rain Sword sect, the Star Sea Sword could not display much of its power. This was because Qi Guang's understanding of swordsmanship was not deep enough. However, in the hands of Mo Fengming, the power of the Tai Yin sword was completely different. Tai Yin Sword Slash. As the sword slashed down, sword chi swept across and condensed into a beam of Tai Yin flowing light. In an instant, it pierced through the head of the wild fierce wolf, killing it on the spot. This was the first time Long Yu saw Mo Fengming in action. He did not expect it to be so shocking. A LV6 True Spirit Realm wild fierce wolf leader was killed by Mo Fengming with a single slash. Although Mo Fengming shouted Tai Yin Sword Slash, everyone knew that the swordsmanship he used was definitely a transcendent spirit-level sword skill passed down from the Mo clan of the Tang dynasty. As for what it was called, Long Yu could not guess. Kill these wild fierce wolves. Long Yu observed the front and found that the little fox Chihuo was struggling to resist the attacks of the 2 Guegu winged envoys. Although it was very difficult, he still managed to hold on. As long as they killed these wild fierce wolves, they could help Chihuo and at least relieve some of the pressure on him. They could fight while leaving the territory of Butterfly Valley. Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan dashed out separately and attacked the scattered wild fierce wolf demonic beast. Long Yu moved and was about to kill some wild fierce wolves as well. But at this moment, the moon wings on his back flapped and glided toward where the little fox Chihuo was. Isn't this hatred a little too much? Long Yu could feel the hatred from the vague consciousness in the moon wings and could not help but feel a little puzzled. Although the moon wings were compatible with the moon wings and increased his speed greatly, the moon wings also had their own consciousness. At this moment, the moon wings were a little out of Long Yu's control, unless Long Yu had the same idea and wanted to fight the Guegu winged envoys of the Ghost Sect tribe. Since they want to fight, let's fight. Let's see how powerful an expert at LV7 of the true spirit realm is. Long Yu was full of fighting spirit. At this point, he had to fight. Moreover, if he could kill these 2 Guegu winged envoys, he would definitely gain a lot. However, when facing an opponent at LV7 of the true spirit realm, Long Yu would not be able to keep his 2 trump cards. You're in the way. Seeing Long Yu rushing toward the little fox Chihuo, the red-winged Guegu winged envoy hissed and swooped down toward Long Yu with a sneer. The flying speed of the Guegu winged envoy was much faster than that of Long Yu with the moon wings. Halfway down, the red-winged Guegu winged envoy finally found that the moon wings on Long Yu's back were made from the corpses of the Guegu winged envoys. Sin cannot be redeemed, sin cannot be redeemed. The red-winged Guegu winged envoy was immediately enraged. He did not know which Guegu winged envoy Long Yu's moon wings were made from. Otherwise, he would have been a little wary of Long Yu. But now, he only saw Long Yu as a boy at LV4 of the true spirit realm with a superb combat weapon. He had underestimated the enemy. Long Yu could see the contempt in Guegu Yi's eyes, and he couldn't help but secretly rejoice. Underestimating the enemy was the first step to your death, Long Yu thought in his heart. After which, he actually flapped his lunar wings and took the initiative to fly towards the scarlet-winged Guegu wing envoy. At the same time, he gathered the netherworld chi in his fist and punched towards the Guegu winged envoy. You really dare to come and die? The red-winged Guegu winged envoy's ferocious face was filled with endless killing intent. He flapped his wings and a rain of red arrows appeared out of nowhere and fell from the sky. Yellow Springs Barrier. Long Yu raised his hand and gathered the netherworld chi to form the Yellow Springs Barrier. The rain of red arrows was completely blocked by the Yellow Springs Barrier. As the Guegu winged envoy had underestimated Long Yu and did not use his full strength, it allowed Long Yu to completely block his attack. And the Guegu winged envoy's underestimation of Long Yu's punch also caused him to be completely restrained by the invisible spirit of Yellow Springs, unable to move for a moment. When the aura of the netherworld came into contact with him, Long Yu suddenly felt that the degree of compatibility between him and the lunar wings seemed to have risen again. Chapter 237. If it was said that when a martial cultivator and a combat weapon were in harmony, the combat weapon would produce a vague consciousness. Then, if the combat weapon reached the realm of harmony and spirit fusion, the vague consciousness would become clear. At this moment, Long Yu could clearly feel that the vague consciousness in the lunar wings had suddenly become clear. It was the resentment left behind by the winged envoy of Guegu after his death. It had merged with the law of Een and the law of 9 underworlds, producing a new consciousness. As soon as it was formed, it showed deep hatred towards the winged envoy of Guegu. Fly! Long Yu could only feel the shouts of that consciousness. Immediately after, the lunar wings unfurled even more. With a flap, Long Yu actually flew up steadily. Harmony and spirit fusion with the lunar wings allowed Long Yu to really start flying. Kill it! From the lunar wings, a wisp of consciousness entered Long Yu's mind. This was the consciousness that he could clearly feel from the lunar wings. I want to, but it's a pity that it's too strong. Long Yu's face darkened. Even though he had fused with the lunar wings and could fly freely in the air, it was still too difficult to kill Wing Envoy Guegu with the bright red wings. The difference between their martial arts realms was too great. Just in terms of basic strength, the difference was close to 10 times. The only reason why Long Yu was able to survive a single exchange was because the other party had underestimated him. Otherwise, Long Yu would have died in a single exchange. Lunar sword slash! Mo Fengming's shout came from the dense forest below. Then, a ray of lunar sword light broke through the air and attacked the winged envoy of Guegu. It had been bound by the yellow spring spirit formed by Long Yu's lying drunk yellow spring fist. Unfortunately, it quickly broke free. When the tiny sword light came, the scarlet-winged Gueguzi sneered disdainfully. Then, he flapped his wings and flew into the sky, easily dodging the sword light. Unable to fly, Mo Fengming could not help Long Yu at all. Chi-hua, do it! Long Yu took the opportunity to transmit a thought to the little fox demon Chi-hua, who was not far away. The scarlet-winged Guegu wing envoy flew higher and higher into the sky. Of course, Long Yu would not foolishly chase after him. On the contrary, He had to take this opportunity to join forces with the little fox demon Chi Hua as soon as possible to kill the grayish-white winged envoy Gui Gu. If they succeeded, they could turn the disadvantage into an advantage. Not far away from them, Chi Hua and the gray-winged messenger were fighting fiercely. The gray-winged messenger emitted a thick, grayish-white ghost energy, clashing with Chi Hua's nine-tailed true spirit. When Chi Hua received the message from Long Yu, he grinned because he knew the crucial moment had come. Scarlet Fire Tornado. Chi Hua activated the nine-tailed true spirit's true form, and a storm of flames swept toward the gray-winged envoy with the nine-tailed true spirit at the center. This was the strongest move Chi Hua had ever used. Wherever the fire tornado passed, the entire forest was set ablaze. No matter how old the ancient trees were, they were all buried in the sea of fire. Against the scarlet fire tornado, the gray-winged envoy could only retreat. However, he did not notice that Long Yu was approaching him at an extremely fast speed. Be careful. When the scarlet-winged envoy saw this, he immediately warned Long Yu with a solemn expression. Then, he flapped his wings and chased after Long Yu at high speed, hoping to stop Long Yu. He had just exchanged a blow with Long Yu. Although he did not think that Long Yu was very strong, this human cultivator still had the strength to threaten them. If the gray-winged envoy was restrained by Long Yu, wouldn't it be terrible if Chi Hua used his killer move? Therefore, the scarlet-winged envoy did not hesitate to chase after him. Unfortunately, its speed, when compared to the speed of Long Yu, who had fused with the lunar wings, was still slightly inferior. Dragon of Nine Nether, True Spirit emerge. This time, Long Yu did not hide anything. Facing a LV7 True Spirit Realm opponent, Gui Gui, if he did not use his full strength, he would definitely be defeated. Compared to dying in Butterfly Valley, Long Yu would definitely give it his all. Releasing the Dragon of Nine Nether's True Spirit would have an unknown side effect, which made Long Yu feel uneasy. But no matter what, it was better than dying now. The Nine Nether Chi instantly burst out and spread out into the surrounding forest. A Dragon of Nine Nether's True Spirit materialized behind Long Yu in an instant. The pair of dragon eyes seemed to have come from the Yellow Springs. With one look, both the gray-winged envoy and the scarlet-winged envoy could not move, and even their consciousness was completely frozen. Kill. Without hesitation, Long Yu punched the Yellow Springs' drunken underworld fist at the gray-winged envoy. At the same time, Little Fox Chi Hua was surprised by Long Yu's Dragon of Nine Nether True Spirit, but he did not stop at all. He waved his little claws, and suddenly, the nine-tailed True Spirit condensed a violent scarlet fire that enveloped the gray-winged envoy. The Nine Nether Chi and the violent scarlet fire completely enveloped the gray-winged envoy. The gray-winged envoy, who was stunned by the Dragon of Nine Nether True Spirit, did not have any chance to resist. At this moment, he was completely engulfed by the violent scarlet fire, and his entire body was enveloped in flames. A tragic scream came from the mouth of the gray-winged envoy, who had woken up, but it was too late for him to wake up. Being hit by Chi Hua's violent scarlet fire, the gray-winged envoy was instantly seriously injured. On the other hand, Long Yu's Yellow Springs' drunken underworld fist did not cause much damage to the gray-winged envoy. After all, there was a huge gap between their martial realms. Without Chi Hua, even if Long Yu released the Dragon of Nine Nether True Spirit, it would be impossible for him to defeat the two Gui Gui. This True Spirit, Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan were shocked once again. Even though the two of them had seen Long Yu release the Dragon of the Nine Underworld during the martial competition of the Seven Sects, they were similarly completely terrified by it and practically stopped thinking, so they didn't have the time to be shocked. But now, Long Yu's release of the Dragon of Nine Nether's True Spirit had only deterred two Ghost Valley winged envoys. Moreover, he was observing it from a close distance. It was a giant dragon that seemed to have come from the Nine Hells. Its entire body was pitch black, and it exuded a mysterious and strange aura. Its long tail was coiled, and its eyes were fixed on the two Ghost Valley Wing envoys. The scarlet-winged envoy finally came back to his senses at this moment. However, as soon as he came to his senses, he was swept by the dragon of the 9 underworld's true spirit's tail. He fell to the ground and created a deep pit in the dense forest. Kill. Long Yu transmitted his thoughts to Crimson Fire. Without any hesitation, Crimson Fire opened his mouth and spewed out a crimson firestorm towards the crater. Crimson flames covered the entire dense forest. In the middle of Butterfly Valley, flames soared into the sky, and a large portion of the dense forest was plunged into a sea of fire. Be it the grayish-white winged envoy or the scarlet-winged envoy, they were bombarded by the crimson firestorm. Although they didn't die, they were severely injured. It was extremely difficult for them to fly and escape, much less continue fighting. Poof! Long Yu held the dragon spear of the 9 nether and gathered endless killing intent. He stabbed the spear into the scarlet-winged envoy's chest and shattered his heart meridian. Retrieve. The dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit was retrieved by Long Yu. However, the surroundings were still filled with the aura of the river of the netherworld, which gradually extinguished the crimson flames that covered the entire mountain. Fortunately, the 2 Ghost Valley Wing envoys were finished off by Crimson Fire. It could be considered a temporary victory in this battle. However, the aftereffects of releasing the dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit twice in a short period of time finally showed. When Long Yu retrieved the dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit, he felt as if a powerful consciousness from the primordial era had invaded his mind. This primordial consciousness was extremely powerful. With the strength of Long Yu's current consciousness, he couldn't resist it at all. No matter how strong Long Yu's willpower was, he was no match for the other party. Sensing that the primordial consciousness was trying to invade his sea of consciousness, Long Yu immediately endured the pain and fought against the primordial consciousness. Originally, Long Yu felt that releasing the dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit was inappropriate. Now it seemed that there was indeed endless danger hidden within. Long Yu, what's wrong? Lu Yuan was the first to notice that something was wrong with Long Yu. She hurriedly ran over and reached out to support Long Yu's body. I'm fine. Long Yu broke out in a cold sweat. As Lu Yuan supported him, the primordial consciousness that was trying to invade his mind suddenly disappeared. It was as if it had never existed. It vanished without a trace. However, he was sure that the primordial consciousness had definitely appeared before. The dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit? Long Yu's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He thought to himself, could it be that releasing the dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit will awaken the dragon of the 9 nether's true spirit and allow it to take over my body? How terrifying! Long Yu's heart sank when he sensed that the primordial consciousness was so powerful that he couldn't resist it. All along, he had treated the dragon seal of the 9 nether as his greatest trump card. No matter when, he would always use his hidden trump card to resolve any crisis. However, it seemed that the dragon seal of the 9 nether had indeed strengthened his strength, but it had also buried a great hidden danger for him. If the primordial consciousness was completely invaded, Long Yu didn't know what would happen to him. Would his consciousness disappear? Would he become a walking corpse? Or could it be that the primordial consciousness had taken over his body and was using his identity to walk the world? The dragon of the 9 nether, the dragon's successor, consort Yu. Long Yu's eyes flickered fiercely. One day, he would find all of them and unravel all the mysteries, especially that blurry and beautiful figure in his memory. Who exactly was Concubine Yu? Why did she carve the dragon seal of the 9 nether on Long Yu's chest? Reaching the heaven-being realm seemed to be just the beginning, and now Long Yu was only at the 4th layer of the true spirit realm. There was still a long way to go before he could reach the heaven-being realm. Hurry up and deal with the corpses of the 2 winged emissaries of the Ghost Valley. We should be on our way. At this moment, Mo Fengming was the most rational. He pointed at the two charred corpses of the winged emissaries of the Ghost Valley and said in a deep voice, "With such a big battle taking place here, it would definitely attract a lot of demon beasts." Chapter 238. The corpses of two LV-7 true spirit realm demonic beasts were extremely valuable. Long Yu, I'll leave them to you. Mo Fengming glanced at Qi Huo and joked, "With that little fox around, I wouldn't dare to touch the corpses of the demonic beasts. Moreover, it's all thanks to you and the little fox that we managed to kill these two demonic beasts. You deserve it." Lu Yuan flicked her snow-white hair and looked at Long Yu. Long Yu did not say anything else and took 2 steps forward. He swept the 9 Abyss Dragon Spear and took out the inner core of the Gui Gu Envoy. At the same time, he activated the 9 Abyss Dragon Seal and started to absorb the essence of the demon spirit. With the release of the 9 Underworld Dragon True Spirit, the 2 Ghost Valley Winged Envoys didn't even have the chance to release their true spirits before they were burned to death by Long Yu and the little fox demon Qi Huo. It was a pity that this brought a huge hidden danger to Long Yu. After this incident, that tyrannical and terrifying primordial consciousness was even closer to Long Yu. There was no telling when it would suddenly appear and seize control of Long Yu's body. Next time, I can't release the true spirit of the 9 Abyss no matter what, Long Yu thought to himself. Soon, he absorbed all the demon spirit essences of the 2 Gui Gu Envoy and swallowed one of the inner cores. Long Yu could only take one inner core of the same type of demonic beast. If he took a second one, the effect would be greatly reduced, and it would be less than half of the first one. Long Yu gave the second inner core to Mo Fengming, who then passed it to Lu Yuan. "I've already reached the bottleneck of unity of true spirit. I'm not lacking spiritual qi, but enlightenment. So, this inner core is useless to me. I'll give it to Miss Lu Yuan." Mo Fengming was quite humble. This made Long Yu take another look at him. He did not expect Mo Fengming to have reached the peak of LV6 True Spirit Realm, and was just a step away from unity of True Spirit Realm. No wonder the Tai Yin Sword Slash was so powerful that it could kill the leader of a wild wolf. Lu Yuan did not refuse. She accepted the grayish-white Wing Envoy's inner core. "There's still a long way to go before I reach the 5th rank of the True Spirit Secret Realm. It seems like it's not going to be easy to raise my martial Dao realm." After Long Yu finished absorbing the beast core and demon spirit essence, he couldn't help thinking about this. Then, he wanted to put the corpse of the Ghost Valley Envoy into the Netherworld space, but on second thought, he felt that he should be on guard against Mo Fengming. "Brother Mo, let's take these 2 demonic beast corpses back together," Long Yu casually said, then asked, "I haven't asked Brother Mo, why did you come here to find me?" "It's nothing." Mo Fengming laughed softly. "I just want to train outside with you so that we can look after each other. Soon, it will be the day of the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection. I think I have to fight for this opportunity no matter what." Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection? Long Yu's heart thumped. He thought of his mother, Beiyuyao. The force she belonged to seemed to be the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute. What is the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection? Long Yu couldn't help but ask. In order to select students, the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute gathers young geniuses from all over the Heavenly Mandate continent to conduct a test and selection. Mo Fengming's eyes lit up. He found that Long Yu didn't seem to know about this. After saying this, he began to explain in detail. In the Heavenly Mandate continent, the most respected force was the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute. And the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute was divided into 5 parts, namely the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate, the South Academy of Heavenly Mandate, the East Academy of Heavenly Mandate, the West Academy of Heavenly Mandate, and the Central Academy of Heavenly Mandate. In the entire Heavenly Mandate continent, the Tang Empire, the ancient Meng Empire, and the Dongri Empire were all relatively northerly countries. Therefore, they were all under the jurisdiction of the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate. North Academy of Heavenly Mandate, Beiyuyao. Is there any connection between the two? Long Yu thought in his heart, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he continued to listen to Mo Fengming's explanation. The North Academy of Heavenly Mandate could be said to be the strongest force in the entire northern part of the Heavenly Mandate continent. It governed dozens of countries, including the Tang Empire. Even demonic beast countries like the Ghost Valley of Heavenly Souls were, in principle, subservient to the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate. There was no other reason than that the comprehensive strength of the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate was too strong. And after a period of time, the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate would select a group of talented young martial arts cultivators from dozens of nearby countries to join the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate and become students of the North Academy. This move was known as the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection. If one could stand out from the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection, the benefits would undoubtedly be huge. Joining the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute, even if it was just the North Academy of Heavenly Mandate, one would receive extremely rich cultivation resources, elixirs, martial arts techniques, weapons, and so on. The Heavenly Mandate Sacred Institute was the most desired place for martial arts cultivators in the entire Heavenly Mandate continent. As for the rules of the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection, they are different every time, so I don't know what will happen in the next Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection. At this point, Mo Fengming finished his introduction, but then he added, of course, to participate in the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection, the threshold is to reach the realm of real spirit as one before the age of 30. Reach the realm of real spirit as one before the age of 30. Long Yu was still far from the realm of real spirit as one, and he could not help but feel a little disappointed when he heard this. If the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection was to be held in the near future, he might not be able to participate. As if reading Long Yu's thoughts, Mo Fengming smiled and said, "The Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection is held once every 7 years, and there are still 2 years before the next one. With Brother Long's talent and qualifications, it is not impossible for you to participate in the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Selection." Brother Mo must be joking. In the stage of the secret realm of real spirit, it is extremely difficult to take a step forward, not to mention that I am still 3 levels away from the realm of real spirit as one. Long Yu shook his head and said with a smile, "Well, let's not talk about this for now. Since we have dealt with the bodies of these demonic beasts, let's leave as soon as possible." Just now, as Mo Fengming was talking, he, Long Yu, and Lu Yuan took out all the inner cores of the wild fierce wolves and divided them evenly. Altogether, they were worth a few thousand crystal coins. In Butterfly Valley, once the operation was successful, the harvest would be huge. This was also the reason why Guowei, Jianhei, and the others took the risk to enter Butterfly Valley to deal with the Firefox tribe. Unfortunately, because of Long Yu's intervention, they failed at the last step and even lost their lives. The 3 people and 1 demon prepared to retreat from Butterfly Valley and walked toward the entrance of Butterfly Valley. However, they had only taken 2 steps when another Ghost Valley envoy appeared in the air in front of them. It could be seen that it was a Ghost Valley envoy with rainbow wings. Judging from her graceful figure, she should be a woman. At this time, she was flying above the dense forest in front of them and seemed to have been staring at them for a long time. She is not from the Ghost Sect tribe. Chihua, the little fox demon, recognized the identity of the female Ghost Valley envoy at a glance. Good eyes. The rainbow-winged envoy looked at Chihua and passed his thought to Chihua and Long Yu. "You too, if you are done with your business, it is time to come with me." "Who are you?" Long Yu narrowed his eyes. This rainbow-winged envoy emitted an extremely dangerous aura. He was afraid that his cultivation had reached LV8 of the true spirit realm. If such an existence had evil intentions towards them, they would definitely die. I am from the Soaring Sky tribe. The rainbow-winged envoy answered, and then sent a thought to Long Yu alone. My grandfather wants to see you, so I hope you can come with me. Her grandfather? The Soaring Sky tribe. Wasn't this the tribe where the owner of the lunar wings on Long Yu's back was from? Moreover, not long ago, the owner of the lunar wings was the tribe leader of the Soaring Sky tribe. Unfortunately, he was killed by the winged envoys of the Ghost Sect tribe. Long Yu knew that he had no way to resist, so he could only ask calmly, "Where do you want me to go with you?" "To our Soaring Sky tribe, of course. Don't worry, in our tribe, no one will want your life, and no one can kill you." The rainbow-winged envoy's cold thought came to him. Her meaning was clear. If Long Yu went to the Soaring Sky tribe, he would be their guest. Not only would no one make things difficult for him, they would also protect him. However, wasn't the Soaring Sky tribe located in the depths of the Sky Soul Ghost Valley? This rainbow-winged envoy wanted to take him to the depths of the Sky Soul Ghost Valley? Long Yu frowned slightly. He didn't even need to think with his toes to know the danger involved. "Brother Mo, Lu Yuan, it seems that I can't go with you," Long Yu said calmly. "What's wrong, Brother Long?" Mo Fengming's words were a little doubtful, but also a little serious. He and Lu Yuan didn't know that the rainbow-winged envoy and Long Yu could communicate. They only saw the rainbow-winged envoy glance at them, and then stop moving, while Long Yu also stopped. Originally, Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan thought that they would have to fight a tough battle, and it was almost a hopeless one. Facing a level 8 Ghost Valley demon beast, they had no chance of winning at all. But now it seemed that the situation was not that bad. "I still have something to do. You can leave first, don't worry about me." Long Yu turned around and looked at Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan. His eyes lingered on Lu Yuan's face for a few breaths, which made Lu Yuan a little embarrassed. "Lu Yuan, remember to take care of your father." After saying this, Long Yu waved his hand and let Little Fox Demon Chi Hua jump onto his shoulder. With the rainbow-winged envoy's invitation, Long Yu and Little Fox Demon Chi Hua would definitely not be able to escape. In that case, why not go to the Xiang Kong tribe with her? "Let's go." Long Yu flapped his wings and flew. As if he had seen the rainbow-winged envoy, the lunar wings on his back were unusually active, emitting an extremely joyful aura. Looking back at Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan one last time, Long Yu took Little Fox Demon Chi Hua and flew above the dense forest, following the rainbow-winged envoy into the depths of Butterfly Valley. "That's strange. It seems that Long Yu can really have sex with demons?" Mo Fengming's face was full of doubt. "Don't think too much. Let's go, it's too dangerous here." Lu Yuan glanced around and said immediately. The two of them each held the corpse of a Ghost Valley demon beast and quickly ran toward the entrance of Butterfly Valley. Soon, they finally left Butterfly Valley, temporarily out of danger. Mo Fengming felt it was a pity that Long Yu left with the rainbow-winged envoy, but he was even more curious about Long Yu. Lu Yuan, on the other hand, was very worried about Long Yu's safety. Chapter 239. After a day and a night, Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan finally arrived at the exit of the Ghost Valley with the corpses of the winged messengers. Both of them heaved a sigh of relief when they returned to the human world. The corpses of the two winged messengers at the LV-7 True Spirit Realm aroused the jealousy of many people. The two pairs of wings alone were enough to announce the appearance of two high-grade spiritual weapons that could increase one's speed. Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan had struck it rich, but no one knew what they had encountered in the Butterfly Valley. They kept their mouths shut about what had happened and quickly left the Mixed Sound City, so no one could find out anything about them. The return of Mo Fengming and Lu Yuan made Feng Hai's bodyguards at the entrance of the Ghost Valley feel hopeless. It had been so many days, but alchemist Feng Hai and his two brothers had not returned. There was no news about them either. Could something have happened to them? Feng Hai, who was at the LV-4 True Spirit Realm, was alone in the Butterfly Valley. Even if he had not been crushed to death by the collapse of the Firefox tribe's nest, it was impossible for him to have come out alive. After a month, Alchemist Feng Hai still did not show up. The Mixed Sound City had no choice but to announce that Alchemist Feng Hai was dead. Fortunately, there was good news. Long Yu did not come out of the Butterfly Valley either. He should have died in there. As for the demonic beast Hunter Guo Wei and Jian He, they should have died in the Butterfly Valley as well. Otherwise, they would not have disappeared for a month. This caused quite a stir among the martial cultivators. All of this had nothing to do with Long Yu. At this moment, he had entered the depths of the Ghost Valley, which belonged to the demonic beast's kingdom. Qihua, the little fox demon, was lying on Long Yu's shoulder. He followed the graceful rainbow-winged messenger and quickly flew across the Butterfly Valley. There were many flying demonic beasts in the Butterfly Valley, but none of them dared to approach the rainbow-winged messenger. As they flew across the middle of the Butterfly Valley, Long Yu clearly saw a very narrow canyon. If one could not fly, the only way to enter the Heavenly Soul Ghost Valley from the outside world was through the narrow canyon. On both sides of the narrow canyon, there were many powerful demonic beasts guarding it, and there was no lack of powerful existences at the 8th level of the true spirit realm. It was only under the guidance of the rainbow-winged envoy that Long Yu could safely cross the Butterfly Valley. Otherwise, with his cultivation, he would have died many times over. After passing through Butterfly Valley, there was a large plain area. Although the terrain was somewhat undulating, the range was not large. Overall, it was a very flat area. There were rivers, trees, grass, and lakes. The depths of the Ghost Valley of Heavenly Souls behind the Butterfly Valley was the real Demon Kingdom. The living environment was not inferior to the rich areas of the human kingdom. Soul Valley Demon Kingdom was the name of this demon kingdom. Along the way, the rainbow-winged envoy did not say much to Long Yu. It could be seen that she had an innate hatred for human martial cultivators. In other words, all demonic beasts had an innate disgust towards human cultivators. If it was not for her grandfather's order, the rainbow-winged envoy would not want to have any communication with human martial cultivators. After the Ghost Valley Wing envoy divided the entire Demon Beast clan into 3, the Soaring Kong clan was in a very bad situation. Although they still gathered in the depths of the Ghost Valley, they could only hide. "Fly low, don't lose her," the rainbow-winged envoy reminded him with her thoughts. Then she lowered her flying altitude and began to fly around in a dense forest. It seemed that she was trying to avoid being discovered. Are they afraid of being discovered by the Ghost Sect clan? Long Yu guessed in his heart. Following the rainbow-winged envoy's advice, he lowered his flying altitude and flew into the dense forest with her. The tribe leader of the Soaring Kong clan was killed by the Ghost Sect clan. It showed that the Ghost Sect clan had completely taken control of the Ghost Valley Wing envoy. Currently, the Soaring Sky tribe would have to take a detour in the Sky Soul Ghost Valley. If they were discovered by the Ghost Sect, the only thing that awaited them would be death. The rainbow-winged envoy's flying route was very strange. Although Long Yu's flying speed was not slow, he still almost lost her sometimes. After coming to the depths of the Ghost Valley, the number of demon beasts seemed to have decreased a lot. But Long Yu knew that it was because the depths of the Ghost Valley was too wide, so it was rare to encounter demon beast group. And this was also one of the reasons why the demon beasts outside tried to enter the depth. Every demon beast group in the depths of the Ghost Valley had more than 10 times the cultivation resources of the demon beasts outside. Almost there, come down. The Rainbow Wing envoy sent a thought over to remind him. Immediately after, her figure suddenly disappeared, giving Long Yu a fright. Where did she go? The little fox demon Chihuahua's eyes widened, but he could not find any trace of the rainbow-winged envoy. Until Long Yu flew forward for a while, he finally found a bottomless abyss in front of him. It's the bone-concealing abyss. The young fox demon, Crimson Fire, shuddered as he sensed the deathly stillness emanating from the abyss. It sent a chill down his spine. Hiding bone abyss? Long Yu could feel that under this abyss, there were indeed many demon beast bones hidden, and endless deathly stillness accumulated. Obviously, it was a place of great danger. Could it be that the current location of the Soaring Sky tribe was under this hiding bone abyss? Isn't this a little too miserable? The Ghost Valley Winged Envoy was originally one of the most powerful tribes in the Soul Valley Demon Kingdom, but after splitting into 3 tribes, the Soaring Sky tribe could only choose to live in a place like the Hiding Bone Abyss. The winner was king, the loser was a bandit. Even in the Demon Beast Kingdom, this sentence was the same truth. But Long Yu and Chihua were obviously wrong. The gathering place of the Soaring Sky tribe was not under the Hiding Bone Abyss, but between the mountain walls on both sides of the Hidden Bone Abyss. When Long Yu flew above the Hiding Bone Abyss, he felt that the lunar wings behind him seemed to be unable to withstand the endless deathly stillness. He had to use all his strength to activate the lunar wings to ensure that he did not fall. And when he looked down, he saw that the rainbow-winged envoy, who had just disappeared, was near the mountain wall under the Hiding Bone Abyss. She pushed a boulder, and there was a cave that led to the mountain wall. The dignified Ghost Valley Winged Envoy, a powerful tribe that could soar in the sky, was now forced to live in a cave. Moreover, in a cave near the Hiding Bone Abyss, under the erosion of the endless deathly stillness, the members of the Soaring Sky tribe would probably have some bad effects in the long run. Long Yu was not afraid of the erosion of the deathly stillness. The reason was of course the existence of the 9 underworlds dragon seal. But the little fox demon Chihua, who was lying on his shoulder, was now shivering in the cold. Without any hesitation, Long Yu quickly followed the rainbow-winged envoy and entered the cave on the mountain wall with her. Then the rainbow-winged envoy pushed the boulder, blocking the entrance of the entire cave. The living conditions of the Soaring Sky tribe were very bad, which also made Long Yu quite puzzled. Under such circumstances, the Soaring Sky tribe still had the mood to go to the outside world and bring him, a human martial cultivator, here? Even if the consciousness in the lunar wings behind him was from the tribe leader of the Soaring Sky tribe, it was still somewhat puzzling. Anyway, with the rainbow-winged envoy at the 8th level of the true spirit realm, even if Long Yu did not want to come, he could only follow. He could feel that the rainbow-winged envoy did not use her full strength along the way, but still flew much faster than him. In any case, he could not escape, so he might as well follow obediently. Maybe there would be good things waiting for him? Chihua. The little fox demon Chihua, as soon as she entered the cave, condensed a fireball, illuminating the surroundings. This was a winding mountain passage. The rainbow-winged envoy folded her wings and walked in front. Long Yu also folded his lunar wings and took a step forward. Long Yu observed the 2 sides of the passage. He could tell that this passage was dug not long ago, and there were many traces of cutting. As they walked, Long Yu soon followed the rainbow-winged envoy to an extremely spacious underground space, as if he had come to a spacious hall in a human kingdom. In this hall, the figures of the Ghost Valley Winged Envoy entered Long Yu's eyes one after another. These Ghost Valley Winged Envoys all had different colors and patterns on their wings. When Long Yu appeared, these Ghost Valley Winged Envoys all looked at Long Yu, which made Long Yu's hair stand on end. This feeling of entering the territory of demonic beasts was really uncomfortable. Not only Long Yu, even the little fox demon Chihua was very nervous. In this place, every adult Ghost Valley Winged Envoy was a powerful being in the 7th level of the true spirit realm. In this entire space, there were over 100 Ghost Valley Winged Envoys who had achieved the true spirit fusion. This was an extremely powerful force, and such a force was defeated by the Ghost Sect clan. It was not hard to imagine how powerful the entire Ghost Valley Winged Envoy clan was. They are definitely more powerful than the Long family of the General clan and the Mo family of the Xiang clan. Long Yu's heart trembled. The entire space was silent. All of the Phantom Valley Winged Envoys communicated with their mind. At this moment, No one knew what they were communicating with each other. In short, Long Yu didn't want to stay in this place for even one more breath. Welcome to the Soaring Sky Clan. A slightly aged thought suddenly entered Long Yu's mind, causing him to look in the direction of the thought. He saw that at the side of this underground space, there was a stone door. Behind the stone door, an old ghost Valley Winged Envoy was smiling and waving at him. It had to be said that the Ghost Valley Winged Envoy's face was covered with feathers. The smile of this old Ghost Valley Winged Envoy was very ugly. However, it also showed that he was friendly to Long Yu. "That's my grandfather. Go and see him." The Rainbow Winged Envoy sent the voice message. Then, she grabbed the little fox demon Chihua and threw him to the other two Ghost Valley Winged Envoys. "Don't worry. My clansmen are just taking him for a walk. My grandfather wants to talk to you alone." The Rainbow Winged Envoy sent a voice message to Long Yu. After Chihua was taken away, she said, "This is for you. Your martial arts realm is too low. I hope that you can grow quickly in our Soaring Sky Clan." Long Yu looked down and saw that in the Rainbow Winged Envoy's hand was the corpse of a firefox, Chihua's father, Lu Hua. Chapter 240. Don't get me wrong. Lu Hua was killed by two guys from the Ghost Sect tribe. It has nothing to do with me. I just brought him back. When Rainbow Wing Envoy saw Long Yu's expression, he conveyed his intentions and explained. The corpse of a demonic beast at the 8th level of the true spirit realm contained the inner core of a transcendent grade spiritual elixir, as well as the demon spirit essence. These were only useful to human martial cultivators. Without a doubt, Rainbow Wing Emissary brought Lu Hua's corpse so that Long Yu could absorb its inner core and demon spirit essence. That was why Rainbow Wing Emissary took Chihua away. After all, Lu Hua was its father. "Can you tell me why you brought me here?" Long Yu narrowed his eyes and asked with his consciousness. "My grandpa will tell you." Rainbow Wing Emissary threw Lu Hua's corpse into Long Yu's hands and left. Long Yu held the corpse of the fox demon, Lu Hua. He felt that there was still some warmth on it and thought of the little fox demon, Chihua, who had just been taken away. He shook his head and didn't think too much about it. After throwing Lu Hua's corpse into the 9 Serenities space, Long Yu turned and walked to the stone door on the side, ready to meet Rainbow Wing Emissary's grandpa. This old man was called Gui Gu, and his wings were curled up. However, when he was close enough, Long Yu could see the lightning flowing on his wings. Once it exploded, its destructive power would be extremely strong. "Hello, human. I am Kong Lei, one of the 3 masters of the Soaring Sky tribe." The old man, Gui Gu, transmitted his thoughts to Long Yu, who was approaching. "I am Long Yu." Long Yu gave a perfunctory answer. In fact, the old man must have known his name long ago. For now, the Soaring Sky tribe didn't seem to have any bad intentions towards Long Yu. He was happy to communicate with them. Whether it was to know more about demonic beasts or to learn something unique from them, it was good for Long Yu. "Come in." The old man, Kong Lei, turned around and entered the stone chamber. Long Yu carefully observed this old man, Wing Envoy Gui Gu. Sky Thunder. Seeing that his feathers were covered with bits of lightning, it was clear that he had a very deep understanding of the power of lightning. The level of these lightning bolts did not seem to be comparable to Long Yu's nightmare lightning laws, but they were definitely condensed from a profound jade-grade law domain. Gui Gai's limbs and head were almost the same as a human's, except that he was covered with feathers and had a pair of wings. Even his height was almost the same as a human's. Long Yu followed Kong Lei and entered the stone room. Looking around, he saw that this stone room was actually a rather simple bedroom. It seemed that this was where Empty Thunder lived. "Master of the Soaring Sky tribe? What do you mean?" Long Yu asked in his mind. In large monster tribes like us, there is usually a tribe leader and 3 masters in charge of the whole tribe. Without turning his head, Kong Lei said in his mind, "In our Soaring Sky tribe, the tribe leader is dead, but his consciousness is left on the wings. Now it is in harmony with you." There are 3 masters left, and I am one of them. In addition, I am a weapon refiner. Weapon refiner? Monster beasts know how to refine weapons? Long Yu was a little surprised. Why not? Kong Lei smiled faintly and turned around, holding a spear in his hand. Try this. Long Yu held the spear in his hand and found that it was actually a spiritual-grade weapon. It contained a strong monster chi, which seemed to resist Long Yu. Long Yu tried to activate it with his chi, but found that the monster chi in the spear bounced off all his chi and excluded it from the spear. Human martial cultivators can't use the weapons of monster beasts. Similarly, we can't use your weapons either. Kong Lei explained in his mind, but the principle of refining weapons is roughly the same. Monster beasts. Long Yu received Kong Lei's thought and knew what the demon beasts called themselves. It was actually a demon cultivator. Master Kong Lei, I wonder why the Soaring Sky tribe brought me here. What do you want me to do? Long Yu nodded and handed the spear back to Kong Lei. Then he raised his head and asked through the lunar wings. It's very simple. Lead us to defeat the Ghost Sect tribe, Kong Lei said in a faint voice. Long Yu was speechless for a while. Defeat the Ghost Sect tribe? Dream on. Moreover, it was led by him? How was this possible? Not to mention his ability, just his identity as a human, could he really participate in the battle between monster beasts? The degree of danger was no less than climbing a mountain of swords or diving into a sea of fire. Don't worry, we have plenty of time. Kong Lei comforted him and then said, I will give you some time to improve your martial arts. Then, you need to defeat some of the warriors of the Soaring Sky tribe and gain the trust of the entire tribe. If I may ask, what kind of cultivation do you warriors have? Long Yu frowned slightly. In a month, some warriors of the 7th level of the True Spirit Secret Realm will challenge you. You need to defeat them, and this is the first step. Kong Lei answered. This was the first step, which meant that there was a second step, a third step. Long Yu was a little troubled, but there were still 2 years before the Saint's selection of the Heavenly Mandate, so he had enough time to spend here. Anyway, as long as he could improve his strength, it was not a waste of time for Long Yu. And there were challenges from the warriors of the Soaring Sky tribe, so that Long Yu could improve his actual combat experience. This kind of opportunity was really rare. If you want to improve your martial arts, unless you have enough monster cores or many pills, I'm afraid it won't be so easy, right? Long Yu asked in his mind. Monster cores, you can hunt for them yourself. We won't help you. Kong Lei said resolutely. Although the Ghost Valley Wing emissaries were not of the same tribe as the other demon tribes, they were still demon beasts. They could not help Long Yu to hunt demon beasts and provide him with monster cores. What's more, the entire Soaring Sky tribe was now holed up in the mountain wall of the Bone Abyss. If they walked out casually, it would be easy for the people of the Ghost Sect tribe to find them, and then it would be a tragedy. As for pills, we have an alchemy master in the Soaring Sky tribe, but unfortunately, she can only refine pills for demon beasts. She can't do anything for you humans. Kong Lei continued to send in his mind. This was what Long Yu expected. Previously, Mainfire of the Firefox tribe told him that there was a powerful alchemy master in the Soaring Sky tribe. It was at that time that Long Yu knew that there were alchemy masters among demon beasts. Whether it's human or demon beasts, is refining pills the same as refining weapons? The principle is the same, but the process is not the same? Long Yu thought for a while and then asked in his mind. Yes. Kong Lei nodded. Then can I visit this alchemy master? Long Yu continued to ask. The Bone Abyss was such a large area, and there were few demon beasts here, so there should be a lot of spiritual herbs growing here. If Long Yu could meet the alchemy master of the Soaring Sky tribe and ask some questions, then he might be able to refine some pills himself. Of course, no problem. But can you tell me why you want to see her? Kong Lei was slightly interested in Long Yu. I want to learn alchemy. Long Yu did not hide his thoughts. Haha. If you want to refine pills, you must have an essence of pills. Not everyone can do it. Kong Lei laughed. Although his laughter was sharp, it was clear that it was a friendly reminder. I think I can try. Even if I don't succeed, the Soaring Sky tribe won't lose anything, right? Long Yu smiled slightly. Yes, then I'll take you to see Master Hongyue later. Kong Lei nodded and did not say anything more. He then changed the topic. Long Yu, can you show me the wings on your back? Long Yu thought for a while and nodded. He took off the lunar wings and handed them to Kong Lei. The lunar wings were originally a purely human weapon refining process, but later it was transformed by the 9U dragon seal with the lunar law, and became the lunar wings. Strange, these black lines contain some secret. Unfortunately, with my eyesight, I can't see the mystery. It's really amazing. Kong Lei's mind was intermittently transmitted, and his eyes flashed with admiration. I didn't expect that the skill of human weapon refiners has reached such a level. Long Yu really wanted to tell him that these black 9U lines were not carved by human weapon refiners, but after thinking about it, he did not say anything. There are 5 levels of compatibility between a martial cultivator and a battle weapon, from resonance to psychic and then to tianqi. Only at this level can a battle weapon produce a little self-consciousness. Kong Lei explained, after tianqi is shinha. At this level, just like you can basically fully play the role of a battle weapon. The next level of compatibility is called unparalleled. Unparalleled compatibility. This was the highest level of compatibility between a martial cultivator and a battle weapon. If the compatibility was unparalleled, then the consciousness of the battle weapon would be like a real person, vivid and lifelike. This was called a weapon spirit. Those who could make a weapon spirit in a battle weapon were definitely strong masters. And a battle weapon that could give birth to a weapon spirit would have self-consciousness even if it left its master. It could be happy, sad, scared, cry, and laugh. Such a battle weapon could no longer be called a battle weapon. The leader of our Soaring Sky tribe is called Soul Slayer. Kong Lei narrowed his eyes and returned the lunar wings to Long Yu. If you can be in unparalleled compatibility with these wings, Soul Slayer's consciousness should be awakened again. At that time, it will be time for us to attack. Why? Long Yu was puzzled. Because with Soul Slayer, one of the 3 tribes of the Ghost Valley Wing tribe, the group strategy tribe, will join hands with us. Kong Lei explained briefly, then walked out of the stone room. Come, I'll take you to see Master Hongyue. Chapter 241. Long Yu followed Master Kong Lei out of the stone room and saw 3 young Ghost Valley emissaries walking towards him. The person in the lead had a pair of purple wings and looked relatively young. When he looked at Long Yu, his eyes were filled with arrogance and disdain. You're the human martial cultivator that has merged with the division leader's consciousness. You're too weak, only at the 4th level of the true spirit realm. How disappointing! The purple-winged Ghost Valley emissary looked at Long Yu with disdain and spread his thoughts around, not minding that Master Kong Lei was beside him. With such cultivation, even if you can merge with the division leader's consciousness, you're not strong enough to rope in the other tribes. That's right. Master actually brought such a guy back. What a disgrace to our tribe. The 2 lackeys also sent out their thoughts and ridiculed Long Yu in disdain. Long Yu swept a glance at the 3 of them. He wasn't angry or infuriated. He just said indifferently, "You are the so-called tribal warrior that I will be challenging in a month? I'm one of them." The purple-winged Ghost Valley emissary raised his head and sent his thoughts. Remember, I, Zigon, will be the first to fight. I'll let you know the difference between a human martial cultivator like you and us Ghost Valley emissaries. Zigon, right? I'll remember you. See you in a month. Long Yu chuckled, turned around and left with Grandmaster Kong Lei. Long Yu could understand his provocation, but he was naturally unhappy. This purple-winged Ghost Valley emissary called Zigon actually looked down on human martial cultivators? He was only at the 7th level of the true spirit realm. In the Ghost Valley Emissaries tribe, as long as their talent was not too bad, they would reach the 7th level of the true spirit realm once they reached adulthood. What was there to be proud of? Long Yu, I'm sorry. Our tribe's youths are a bit rash. Don't take it to heart. Master Kong Lei sent his thoughts apologetically as he led the way. It's okay. I know that if I want them to respect me, I have to show them enough strength. Long Yu narrowed his eyes. Are you confident in a month? Master Kong Lei asked expectantly. There should be no problem. Long Yu nodded. As long as he stepped into the 5th rank of the true spirit realm within a month, he would not be at too much of a disadvantage against a 7th rank true spirit realm expert. I believe in your strength. Grandmaster Kong Lei smiled faintly. I heard from Hong Yu that you and that little fox, Crimson Flame, worked together and took care of 2 members of the ghost sect. You're very powerful. That was just luck. My martial arts realm is still too low. That's why I wanted to learn alchemy. Long Yu was rather modest. He thought to himself, so the female Ghost Valley envoy's name is Hong Yu. It seems that the Ghost Valley envoy's name is related to the color of their wings. Watching Master Kong Lei leave with Long Yu, the purple-winged envoy of the Phantom Valley, Zigon, and his 2 followers didn't follow. They just stood there and watched Long Yu leave. Big Brother Zigon, this human cultivator is too arrogant. In 1 month, you must teach him a lesson. I don't know why the Division Master's consciousness approved of this human cultivator. It's unbelievable. Zigon listened to the discussion of his 2 followers and sent a thought to them coldly. Don't say anything else. In 1 month, when he loses to me, I'll see if he still has the face to stay here. In fact, Long Yu didn't want to stay in the Soaring Sky tribe, but obviously, Grandmaster Kong Lei wouldn't let him leave so easily. Although Grandmaster Kong Lei seemed to be polite, if Long Yu didn't listen, the old man would definitely take some measures to control Long Yu. Soon, Long Yu followed Grandmaster Kong Lei to the door of another stone room. Through a thought exchange, Grandmaster Kong Lei informed the people in the stone room that he had brought people to visit. Then, the stone door opened to the side. Long Yu looked into the stone room and saw 2 Ghost Valley envoys. One of them was the female rainbow envoy, Hong Yu. The other was also an old woman, but she was an old woman with wings that looked like 2 crescent moons. This old woman must be Grandmaster Hong Yu, the alchemy Grandmaster of the Soaring Sky tribe. Grandmaster Kong Lei, are you saying that this human cultivator wants to learn alchemy from Granny? The young Hong Yu asked suspiciously when she saw Long Yu. That's right. Grandmaster Kong Lei waved his hand. His martial arts realm is too low. If he can learn alchemy, he should be able to improve faster. This will be very beneficial to our tribe. I can try to teach him, but I can't guarantee whether he can learn it or not. After all, the alchemy methods of us demon cultivators and human cultivators are different. Although Grandmaster Hong Yu was old, her eyes were very sharp. With just a glance at Long Yu, she seemed to see through him. Long Yu, do your best. I'll leave first. Grandmaster Kong Lei turned around and left the stone room. Long Yu was left alone, facing the 2 female Ghost Valley winged messengers, which made him feel a little awkward. Fortunately, Grandmaster Hong Yu didn't say much. As she stood up, she said to Long Yu, Hong Yu is also an alchemist. Let her teach you some basics. If you need to practice, you can come to me. I have an alchemy furnace for humans. An alchemy furnace for humans. It turned out that demon alchemists and human alchemists used different alchemy furnaces. Fortunately, Grandmaster Hong Yu had an alchemy furnace for humans. Otherwise, even if Long Yu learned alchemy, he wouldn't be able to make alchemy without an alchemy furnace. Come with me. Don't stay here and disturb Granny. The young rainbow-winged envoy, Hong Yu, impatiently waved his hand at Long Yu. You don't understand our demon cultivator's language. Even if I gave you a book, you wouldn't understand it. I can only teach you step by step. Lady Hong Yu, thank you. Long Yu said politely. Just call me Hong Yu. Hong Yu turned around and walked to another stone room. He didn't know if it was an illusion, but Long Yu felt that this rainbow-winged messenger, Hong Yu, had a special feeling of rejection towards him. However, in the entire Soaring Sky tribe, most of the Ghost Valley winged messengers should have a feeling of rejection towards him, right? After all, Long Yu was a human cultivator. Although the methods and processes of alchemists of human and demon cultivators were not the same, the fundamental principles were exactly the same. Alchemy furnaces were not divided into two types. However, if it was used by human alchemists, it already contained some xian qi. Naturally, it couldn't be used by demon cultivators to make alchemy pills. Conversely, it was the same. The alchemy furnace used by Yao cultivators would be filled with Yao qi. No matter how brilliant a human alchemist was, it was impossible for him to use such an alchemy furnace to refine pills for human consumption. The medicinal properties of all herbs are divided into the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire, and earth. Hong Yu brought Long Yu to another stone room and sat down. Then, she took out some books about the basics of alchemy and conveyed the contents to Long Yu. First of all, the materials for alchemy. The most common were herbs. For human cultivators, they had also developed some methods to use the internal organs of demon beasts to make pills. However, on the side of demon cultivators, there was no method to use the internal organs of human cultivators to make pills. From this point of view, human alchemists seemed to be more cruel. In the past, Long Yu didn't feel that there was anything wrong with this. But now that he had integrated into the demon beast group like the Soaring Sky tribe, he also felt that human alchemists seemed to be crazier. In comparison, the alchemy of demon cultivators was closer to nature. Most of the materials were herbs from nature. Since they were learning alchemy of demon cultivators, the most important thing was to learn the medicinal properties of various herbs, as well as the principles of separation and integration of medicinal properties. For human alchemists, this was also the most important part. If they wanted to learn alchemy, they had to memorize the process. Although Long Yu didn't have a photographic memory, it wasn't difficult for him to remember the characteristics of some commonly used herbs. In the Heavenly Mandate continent, most of the herbs were divided into the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire, and earth. Whether it was human alchemists or demon alchemists, they were all divided in the same way. To master the separation and integration of medicinal properties, they had to understand the principles of mutual promotion and restraint of the 5 elements. Moreover, they had to have enough practical experience. For example, this dragon head grass. Can you tell what its attribute is? Hong Yu took out a dragon head grass from somewhere in the stone room and asked Long Yu with interest. If he couldn't even answer such a simple question, then Long Yu was definitely not suitable to learn alchemy. Hong Yu would advise him to give up as soon as possible. After all, as long as one had the heart of loyalty, he would definitely be able to clearly see the attribute of the dragon head grass. The 5 elements are wood. This dragon head grass has the effect of refreshing the mind. It is usually used as an antidote. Long Yu was rather familiar with the dragon head grass. With the help of the dragon seal of 9 underworlds, he could clearly see the thick green halo on the dragon head grass. This was the manifestation of its medicinal properties under the observation of the heart of loyalty. That's right. That's true. Hong Yu nodded her head and felt a little strange. She could tell that Long Yu definitely didn't have the heart of loyalty. However, he could actually see the 5 elements of the dragon head grass. Could it be that he used some other means? Hong Yu thought about it and took out another herb. What is the attribute of this herb? Long Yu took a look. It was a bright red flower that gave off a refreshing fragrance. At first glance, it seemed to be of the fire element. However, when Long Yu activated the dragon seal of 9 underworlds, He saw that the surface of the flower was covered with a layer of grayish-black halo. There were also a few blue lines. The 5 elements are of the earth element. However, there is a certain degree of water element. Long Yu squinted his eyes. Bingo! Hong Yu was a little surprised. Could it be that Long Yu really had some special means to observe herbs? Why don't you try to separate the earth and water elements in this flower? Chapter 242. If Long Yu could really separate the medicinal properties of the herbs, then without a doubt, he could become an alchemy master. Long Yu received that bright red little flower and his brows furrowed slightly. He recalled back then when he cooperated with Old Bai to refine profound-level medicinal pills. Old Bai carried out the operation of separating the medicinal properties. Then I'll give it a try. Long Yu made up his mind and immediately urged the 9 nether dragon seal, using the profound qi in his body to cover that bright red little flower. Following that, he carried out the separation of the observed earth attribute and water attribute medicinal properties. This was an extremely delicate operation. If he wasn't careful, the separation would fail. Originally, Hong Yu only wanted to see if Long Yu had the ability to separate the medicinal properties. As for whether the separation was outstanding or not, it didn't matter. After all, Long Yu was just a beginner. But very quickly, she opened her eyes wide because she discovered that Long Yu's control of the medicinal properties was extremely precise. It was even more detailed than her. Before long, this bright red little flower's earth attribute and water attribute medicinal properties were all separated. No, not bad. Hong Yu didn't dare to believe it. This human martial cultivator's control of medicinal properties was actually stronger than her? The truth was placed in front of her eyes. She had no choice but to believe it. You can try refining pills, but you have to prepare the materials yourself. I can show you some medicinal pill formulas that we demon cultivators consume, but I can't guarantee that it's also suitable for you humans. Hong Yu wouldn't give the medicinal herbs that she usually collected to Long Yu anyway. If Long Yu wanted pill refining materials, he could go out and pick the herbs himself. Following that, Hong Yu explained some pill formulas to Long Yu. Wind Fury Fragrance, Spirit Rank High-Grade Medicinal Pill. Refining Materials, Fuming Windgrass, Full Bloom Spirit Flower, Fragrant Feather Fruit. 1 stalk each and you can refine 1 out. Long Yu very quickly discovered that among the pill formulas that Hong Yu gave, this Wind Fury Fragrance was the highest grade medicinal pill. Spirit Rank High-Grade Wind Fury Fragrance? Hong Yu saw that Long Yu's gaze was fixed on that column and couldn't help but sneer. You've just started learning alchemy and you want to refine a high-grade spirit-grade pill? You're just indulging in fantasy. I think it's better for you to refine some mortal-grade pills first. Yes, I'll pay attention to it myself. By the way, if I want to leave this place to gather pills, do I need to look for Master Kong Lei? Long Yu did not care about what Hong Yu said, and only transmitted a thought to ask. Yes. In order to ensure your safety, Grandmaster Kong Lei will probably send 2 clansmen to accompany you. Hong Yu said. Is it safe? Long Yu didn't believe it. They sent someone to accompany him, most likely to monitor him. However, Long Yu didn't mind being monitored. Anyway, he was just going out to collect some herbs, and it wouldn't expose any of his secret. Moreover, he didn't have any thoughts of escaping now. It was not bad to be able to learn alchemy here. Although he would be in the company of demonic beasts all day long, this feeling was still quite fresh. The next day, Long Yu and Little Fox Demon Chi-Hua met again. Chi-Hua didn't suffer any unfair treatment, but he was a little unhappy. After all, the entire Fire Fox tribe was destroyed, and his parents died in the hands of the Ghost Sect tribe. Let's go out to collect some herbs and refine pills. Long Yu brought Little Fox Demon Chi-Hua and prepared to leave the Soaring Sky tribe's gathering place for a day or 2. Grandmaster Kong Lei arranged for a Ghost Valley envoy at the 8th level of the True Spirit Realm to follow Long Yu out. He said it was to ensure his safety, but in fact it was to monitor his whereabouts. And the one that Grandmaster Kong Lei arranged was actually Hong Yu. Hong Yu's cultivation had reached the 8th level of the true spirit realm, and she could also give some pointers to Long Yu on alchemy along the way. Grandmaster Kong Lei felt that this arrangement was great. Long Yu didn't care. Anyway, it didn't matter who followed him, but Hong Yu was a little unhappy. She hated to be together with human martial cultivators, especially, however, she had no choice but to listen to Grandmaster Kong Lei's arrangement. On account of Division Leader Absolute Soul, she reluctantly agreed. Just like when they came back, little fox demon Chi Hua lay on Long Yu's shoulder, then Long Yu flapped his wings and flew, following Hong Yu out of the mountain cave where the soaring sky tribe gathered. The hidden bone abyss was outside the entrance of the mountain cave, and it constantly swept up a bone-chilling cold wind that made people's hair stand on end. In this nearby area, very few demon cultivators would come over. The dense forest above is our main source of collecting herbs. As Hong Yu flew, she introduced, and very soon, she brought Long Yu to the dense forest at the edge of the hidden bone abyss. As it was close to the hidden bone abyss, this dense forest exuded a kind of cold aura, making people feel lifeless walking in it. However, this kind of place was rarely visited by people, so the herbs would not be so easily collected by people. Collecting herbs was also a job that required patience, and it was rather boring. If it was some of the youths of the Soaring Sky tribe, being accompanied by Hong Yu, no matter what they did, they would probably be filled with enthusiasm. Because to the Gui Gu Wing envoy, Hong Yu was undoubtedly a top beauty. But unfortunately, to humans, the Gui Gu Wing envoy, who was covered in feathers, was really not good to look at. But Hong Yu's pair of rainbow-colored wings were indeed very beautiful. After spending close to a day, 1 human and 2 demons traversed through the dense forest, and finally collected more than 10 different types of herbs. Among them were the 3 types of herbs needed to refine the wind fury fragrance, windgrass, full-bloom spirit flower and fragrant feather fruit. The pill formulas that Hong Yu showed to Long Yu were mostly materials that could be collected nearby, or else it would be useless to show to Long Yu. You really want to refine the wind fury fragrance, I hope you can succeed. Hong Yu was rather unhappy about this, feeling that letting Long Yu refine the wind fury fragrance was simply a waste of those 3 herbs. One must know that she accompanied Long Yu in this dense forest for a day, and what she wasted was her cultivation time. I'm just trying. Long Yu shrugged his shoulders. He naturally could not guarantee that he would succeed in refining the medicinal pill for the first time. Furthermore, what he refined for the first time was a spirit-rank high-grade medicinal pill. He also knew that the success rate was not high, but after refining once, he would have experience until he could truly grasp the knack of refining pills. At that time it would be easy. The sun set in the west, 1 human and 2 demons flew back together. Every time he came to the sky above the hidden bone abyss, Long Yu would have a hair-raising feeling. Looking into the depths of the abyss, he could only see a large stretch of gray clouds, emitting a gloomy aura, blocking his line of sight, making him unable to see what was at the bottom of the abyss. Suddenly, the figure of a Gui Gu Wing envoy flew up from below the mountain wall with extreme speed, approaching menacingly. Sword wings! Long Yu only heard Hong Yu's slightly surprised voice, and immediately following that, he detected a series of sword chi sweeping over from below. The target was shockingly Long Yu. Sword wings, what are you doing? Hong Yu seemed to be somewhat flustered and exasperated. She did not expect that the other party would actually launch an attack at Long Yu the moment they met face to face. Underworld barrier. Long Yu reacted immediately. With a wave of his hand, he used the netherworld chi to condense the underworld barrier in front of him. At the same time, he looked at the other party's figure, only to see that it was a Gui Gu Wing envoy with a pair of sword-like wings. His name should be Sword Wings, and his cultivation had actually reached the 9th level of the true spirit realm. Looking at Hong Yu's appearance, This Sword Wings should also be a member of the Soaring Sky tribe. However, why would he be guarding here and launch a surprise attack against Long Yu? He's a human martial cultivator, damn it. Sword Wings' thoughts were somewhat deep, and he did not care about Hong Yu's obstruction. Countless sword chi bypassed Hong Yu, and instantly penetrated the underworld barrier that Long Yu had condensed. A tyrannical existence in the 9th level of the true spirit realm, the current Long Yu could not contend with it at all. The underworld barrier was instantly shattered by the sword chi. Immediately after, the sword chi continued to attack Long Yu. With Long Yu's speed, he could not dodge in time, and could only avoid the vital point on his chest at the most critical moment. However, he was not used to having a pair of lunar wings on his back. That incomparably sharp sword chi passed by his shoulder, and right after that, the sword slashed off half of his lunar wings. Oh no! Long Yu's expression changed drastically. Now, he could only rely on the lunar wings to fly, but now, half of the lunar wings had been cut off by the Gui Gu Wing envoy called Sword Wings. Long Yu felt that he had instantly lost his balance, and his entire body fell towards the hidden bones abyss. Long Yu. Hong Yu obviously did not expect such a situation, and immediately wanted to catch up and pull Long Yu back. However, the 9th level of the true spirit secret realm, Sword Wings, stopped her, and sent out a faint thought, Hong Yu, below is the hidden bones abyss. You are the granddaughter of Master Kong Lei and Master Hong Yu, you must not take the risk. Sword Wings, do you know that although Long Yu is a human martial cultivator, he is in harmony with our division leader's consciousness, and Master Kong Lei and Master Hong Yu have high hopes for him. Hong Yu's face darkened. Although she was a little repulsed by Long Yu, it did not mean that she would kill Long Yu like Sword Wings. At least, she knew what was more important. I will apologize to Master Kong Lei and Master Hong Yu, Sword Wings said shamelessly, and looked at Hong Yu with eyes full of love. It was obvious that Sword Wings liked Hong Yu very much. Now that Sword Wings had disobeyed the Master's order, and actually attacked Long Yu, the biggest reason was not because Long Yu was a human martial cultivator, but because Long Yu and Hong Yu were close. Humph! Hong Yu saw through Sword Wings' thoughts, snorted coldly, and did not have a trace of good impression of this person. She lowered her head, only to see that the entire hidden bones abyss was shrouded in grey mist. How could she still see Long Yu's figure? In the end, Hong Yu could only use all her strength to grab the half of Long Yu's moon wing that was chopped off. I hope Master Kong Lei will forgive your sin. After Hong Yu said this to Sword Wings, she flapped her wings and flew back in the direction of the Soaring Sky tribe. Long Yu, who fell into the hidden bones abyss, the possibility of him surviving was almost zero. Regarding this, Hong Yu and all the members of the Soaring Sky tribe were very confident. Their Soaring Sky tribe spent a lot of effort to catch a Long Yu, and he was actually destroyed by Sword Wings just like that. This also caused their Soaring Sky tribe's counterattack schedule to be delayed for a long period of time, and even became far into the future. As for what kind of punishment Sword Wings would suffer after returning to the Soaring Sky tribe, it had nothing to do with Long Yu at all. The current Long Yu lost half of his moon wing, and also lost the ability to fly, falling rapidly towards the depths of the hidden bones abyss. Chapter 243. It was said that the hidden bone abyss was a place where humans and demonic beasts fought a long time ago. Countless human and demonic cultivators were buried here, accumulating dead spirit chi all year round. The dead spirit chi was almost fatal to both human and demonic cultivators. Once completely eroded by the dead spirit chi, there was no cure and only death awaited them. Long Yu and Chi Hua fell into the hidden bone abyss together and were instantly surrounded by the endless dead spirit chi. The 9 underworld dragon seal was quietly activated, and a wave of 9 underworld chi condensed into the underworld barrier, blocking the erosion of the dead spirit chi and protecting Chi Hua. It could be seen that although the dead spirit chi was strong, It was restrained by the 9 underworld chi, just like the ghost mark law that Jian He had comprehended. However, the hidden bone abyss was full of dead spirit chi, and it was hard to say how long you could hold on. Oh no. Chihua was so scared that he shivered. Yesterday, I heard from the Soaring Sky tribe that once someone falls into the bone-concealing abyss, even a LV9 true spirit realm expert can only hold on for less than an hour. Long Yu's face changed slightly when he heard this. Although the 9 underworld chi could restrain the dead spirit chi, his martial arts realm was too low, and he was afraid that he could not hold on for more than an hour. A man and a demonic beast fell quickly, and not long after, they finally fell to the bottom of the hidden bone abyss, creating a deep pit in the soft gray ground. Fortunately, his cultivation was good, or he would be crippled even if he did not die from falling from such a high place. It seems that this hidden bones abyss is not very high. It is only a few 100 feet deep, but it is filled with dead spirit chi. Without reaching the celestial realm, even the winged envoy of the Ghost Valley, who can fly, will not be able to leave this place alive. Long Yu secretly speculated, and then glanced around, only to find that there was a gloomy gray dead spirit chi around, and he could not see anything with his naked eyes. Be careful! Chihua suddenly sent a thought, and then he lay on Long Yu's shoulder, and instantly released the 9-tailed true spirit, and a red whirlwind of fire swept forward. It's a dead spirit that has already developed consciousness. Long Yu also immediately discovered that in the direction of the little fox demon Chihua's attack, there is actually a floating gray shadow. It is currently floating towards them, extremely strange. Fortunately, the flame was also good at restraining the dead spirit chi. The little fox Chihua released a red whirlwind of fire, and the gray shadow of dead spirit was enveloped, turning it into ashes. However, when Long Yu looked over, he saw that at the bottom of the hidden bone abyss, there was a continuous flow of dead spirits. These dead spirits were in the form of humans, and there were also all kinds of demonic beasts. It seemed like the legends were true. This place was originally a place where human cultivators and demonic cultivators fought. Too many lives were buried here, resulting in the birth of such a dense death spirit aura. Countless dead spirits surrounded Long Yu and the little fox demon Chihua, making one's hair stand on end. The bone chi spirit, and ago the dead spirit long ago, long spirit chi spirit, and long. At this moment, Long Yu could only rely on the little fox Chihua's red whirlwind of fire to constantly clean up the dead spirit. Long Yu tried his best to maintain the barrier of the underworld, and he kept thinking, could it be that he could only wait for death? Of course, Long Yu would not be willing to die here. He still had not participated in the heavenly mandate sacred selection, and he still had to find the whereabouts of Long Zitian and Bei Yuyao. He also had to return to the Tang Empire to deal with Chu Chaosheng. However, he really couldn't think of any other way for him to escape, because what he was facing now was not an opponent with a physical body. Whether he released the real spirit of the dragon of the 9 underworlds or the 9 underworlds' 9 explosions, it would not help. All of a sudden, an extremely subtle sound of metal chains clanking rang out from one of the directions and entered Long Yu's ears. Chihua, did you hear that? Long Yu's expression changed slightly, and he sent a thought to the little fox Chihua. Now, Long Yu could only leave this place by working together with the little fox Chihua. Hear what? The little fox Chihua raised his head in confusion, not knowing what Long Yu was talking about. Long Yu frowned slightly. Chihua did not hear the sound of the chains? That did not make sense. Logically speaking, the little fox's cultivation was higher than his, and it was a demon beast with a naturally sensitive sense of hearing. It should have heard it more clearly than him. There could not be any living creatures at the bottom of the hidden bones abyss, and the dead spirits formed by the spirit of death chi could not make the sound of the metal chains. Could it be that someone else had fallen into the hidden bones abyss like them? Let's go and take a look. Long Yu quickly made a decision. Regardless of whether the sound of the metal chains was a blessing or a curse, he had no other choice in this desperate situation. He could only go and take a look first. The little fox Chi-hua did not ask any more questions, because it knew that asking Long Yu was useless. Then, the little fox used the flaming whirlwind to clear the way, while Long Yu condensed the Yellow Springs barrier to block the spirit of Death Chi. One man and one demon slowly advanced towards the place where the metal chains were clanking. The dead spirits that were constantly gathering around them were too disgusting. Although they did not have any real offensive power, they could greatly slow down Long Yu's speed. Once he sped up, he would attract more dead spirits' attention, which was a very bad thing. The sound of the metal chains came intermittently from afar, and no one knew how far it was. Long Yu only felt that the profound qi in his body was being consumed at an extremely fast speed. Although the netherworld qi was very effective against the spirit of Death Qi, he was afraid that he would not be able to hold on for too long. Dantian beating. Long Yu's dantian, which had been tempered by the heavenly thunder, instantly throbbed, causing his profound energy to recover at a speed that was several times faster than an ordinary martial cultivator. Even so, he could only persevere for an hour at most. Let's go, it seems to be getting closer. Long Yu heard the sound of the metal chains getting closer and closer, as if it was right in front of him. After approaching this area, the nearby spirit of Death Qi seemed to be a lot lighter, as if there was something in front of them that was constantly dispersing the spirit of Death Qi. All kinds of dead spirits formed by souls did not dare to even take a step forward. What's in front? I still haven't heard the sound of the chains that you mentioned. The little fox demon Chi-hua jumped on Long Yu's shoulder, still extremely puzzled. There must be something strange in front, be careful at all times. Long Yu reminded, and then he was completely on guard, ready to release the Dragon of Nine Underworld's true spirit at any time. After all, everything in the hidden bone abyss was completely beyond the scope of what Long Yu could handle. If there was an emergency, he would definitely not be able to handle it without releasing the Dragon of Nine Underworld's true spirit. Although the primordial consciousness would try to seize control of Long Yu's body, it was better than inexplicably losing his life. If the primordial consciousness appeared, at least Long Yu could try to resist it. Soon, Long Yu and Chi-hua stepped into the area where the spirit of Death Qi was extremely thin. This is a lake. Long Yu looked over and saw a lake in front of him. The lake water was dark green, as if there was a magical power that was dispersing the surrounding spirit of Death Qi. The sound of the metal chains that Long Yu heard seemed to come from the bottom of the lake. You, come here, come here. At this moment, Long Yu seemed to hear an old man's voice, which seemed to be attracting him to the edge of the lake. Go over? Or not go over? Since I'm already here, wouldn't it be a wasted trip if I don't go over? Long Yu smiled indifferently. He wanted to see what kind of ghost was hiding in the dark green lake. He walked calmly and soon came to the edge of the dark green lake. Looking into the lake, Long Yu suddenly frowned. His eyes were attracted by a figure at the center of the lake. It was an old man in ragged clothes. He had been submerged at the bottom of the dark green lake for an unknown number of years. His feet were shackled and bound to two stone pillars at the bottom of the lake by metal chains. Is this an old man who is dead? Long Yu thought. However, right at this moment, the old man in ragged clothes suddenly raised his head. His eyes pierced through the dark green lake water and stared fixedly at Long Yu. This scene shocked both Long Yu and Chi-hua. This old man had been submerged in the water for so many years, but he was still alive. It could be seen that the metal shackles were rusted and covered in moss. However, not only did the old man not drown, he was also full of vigor and vitality. An expert of the heaven being's secret realm. Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. From the old man's eyes, he could see the old man's martial realm. He was an expert of the heaven being's secret realm. He was chained to the bottom of a dark green lake in the bone-hiding abyss. Ha ha! The old man opened his mouth and laughed out loud. Suddenly, the water in the dark green lake began to boil. Immediately after, the metal shackles on his feet emitted a dark green light. This dark green light immediately caused the entire lake to calm down, and the old man's power could no longer be released. It was a human martial cultivator. Long Yu did not expect to see a human martial cultivator imprisoned at the bottom of the bone-hiding abyss, and an expert of the heaven being's secret realm. Who was this guy? Young man, come down. The old man raised his head and stared at Long Yu with a burning gaze. Senior, who are you? Of course, Long Yu was not stupid enough to jump into the lake. Wouldn't that be suicide? Don't you recognize me? I am Wang Chongfeng, the leader of the 7 Stars of Calamity. The old man was enraged. He stared at Long Yu as if Long Yu not recognizing him was the biggest sin in the world. The leader of the 7 Stars of Calamity? Long Yu suddenly remembered that back in the Tang Kingdom, he was forced to retreat by one of the 7 Stars of Calamity, the Star Sea Wheel. He wondered what the relationship between Feng Yao and the Star Sea Wheel was. Chapter 244. After hearing about Xinghai Yiluan, Long Yu searched for some information in the Zhentian clan and roughly learned about the 7 Stars of Bane on the Heavenly Mandate continent. The 7 Stars of Bane was a title that had existed on the Heavenly Mandate continent for a long time. It was a ranking of the 7 most notorious celestial beings' secret realm warriors on the continent. Xinghai Yiluan was the last of the 7 Stars of Bane, and the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane did not seem to be called Wang Chongfeng. Could he be the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane? Long Yu carefully looked at the old man at the bottom of the lake. Although his clothes were ragged, his martial arts realm was surprisingly high. At least, he was much stronger than Xinghai Yiluan. Wang Chongfeng? I have never heard of him. Seeing the old man's exasperated look, Long Yu pretended to smile disdainfully. I have heard of the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane, but I don't think his name is Wang Chongfeng. Damn it, damn it. Hearing this, the old man suddenly became even angrier. Even the water of the whole lake began to swirl around his body, as if to form a huge whirlpool. It must be because I am trapped here that the Heavenly Mandate continent has forgotten my existence. Damn it, damn it. If it were not for that bitch, how could I be trapped here for 10 years? If I were not trapped here, I would have left the Heavenly Mandate continent long ago. The old man struggled hard, but it was useless. The metal shackles that locked his feet were made of some special material. Not only were they extremely strong, but they could even suppress the power in the old man's body. Hearing the old man's words, Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. Leave the Heavenly Mandate continent? It seemed that this old man must know something that ordinary people did not. Wang Chongfeng, you keep saying that you are the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane, but as far as I know, each of the 7 Stars of Bane is very powerful. If you are the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane, how could you be trapped here? Long Yu asked, pretending to be contemptuous. Brat, get down here. I will show you what it means to be powerful. The old man at the bottom of the lake stared at Long Yu. I have seen the leader of the 7 Stars of Bane. He seems to be much more powerful than you. At least he would not be trapped at the bottom of the lake. If you want me to believe you, show me what you have got. If you want me to believe you, then show me what you have got. He could tell that the old man at the bottom of the lake, Wang Chongfeng, had probably been trapped here for too long. His mind was a little deranged, but what reason did he have not to make good use of such a good resource? In the vicinity of this dark green lake, there was not such a dense amount of undead spirit aura. Long Yu had enough time to get information from him. What I have got. Do you want to see what I have got? Wang Chongfeng coldly snorted. His eyes were like those of a wolf, staring at Long Yu. It was as if the moment he escaped, he would pounce on Long Yu and kill him. Unfortunately, the shackles on his feet meant that he could only think about it. Most people don't know about this. If you can tell me, I will believe you are the leader of the 7 stars of Bane. Most people don't know about this. If you can tell me and satisfy me, I will believe that you are the leader of the 7 stars of calamity. Long Yu took the opportunity to ask. Trying to trick me? No way. The old man at the bottom of the lake snorted. Do you think I am insane? Let me tell you, you are only at the 4th tier of the secret realm of true spirit. Don't even dream about leaving the heavenly mandate continent. Long Yu did not expect the old man to be so secretive. It was not a martial arts technique. Why was he so secretive? But if the old man did not say anything, there was nothing Long Yu could do. Then there is nothing I can do. You are just an old man. You are the leader of the 7 stars of Bane. You must be joking. With a chuckle, Long Yu turned around to leave. Of course, he was just putting on an act. He wanted to provoke the old man, but the result was that after he took a few steps, the old man did not make a sound. Long Yu turned his head and saw that the old man at the bottom of the lake was staring at him with ridicule. Seeing Long Yu turn his head, the old man said, "Stinking brat, you fell into the hidden bones abyss. Other than staying here with me, the only path left is death. Where are you going? Dying outside is better than staying with an old man." Long Yu said calmly. You don't know how powerful I am." The old man at the bottom of the lake snorted. He looked a little lonely. "You can hear the sound of the god restraining lock and find your way here. It must be fate, god restraining lock?" Long Yu looked at the metal shackles on the old man's feet and frowned. "This is an incomparably powerful combat weapon. Only an existence on the level of the god-forbidding seal can trap me, Wang Chongfeng, in this place." The old man at the bottom of the lake, Wang Chongfeng, sighed. "A powerful weapon?" Long Yu took a few glances at it and thought to himself, a combat weapon that could trap a Heaven Realm expert for 10 years couldn't be a spirit-grade combat weapon. As for whether it was a profound-grade combat weapon, or a combat weapon that surpassed the profound grade, it was hard to say. "Brat, come here. If you can answer a few of my questions, I will give you some benefits." Wang Chongfeng continued. "What benefits?" Long Yu asked subconsciously. "You should answer these questions first." Wang Chongfeng stared at him. "First, what is the name of the leader of the 7 stars of calamity?" "Something like Crow Du Soon," Long Yu said. He had not even agreed to Wang Chongfeng's request to answer a few of his questions, but this old fellow had already started to ask himself. Fortunately, this question was not difficult for Long Yu, so it did not matter if he answered it. Crow, it's really him. This brat used to follow me around. I didn't expect him to become the leader of the 7 stars of calamity," Wang Chongfeng sighed. "What is the relationship between Crow Du Sun and you?" Long Yu asked. "He is my first disciple," Wang Chongfeng said lightly. "Let me ask you again. Have you heard of Ning Yixing and Lei Wenxing?" Ning Yixing, the soul-chasing demon, and Lei Wenxing, the ungrateful wolf? Long Yu was a little flabbergasted. Weren't these 2 people the 2nd and 3rd of the 7 calamity stars that he had investigated? "They are my 2nd and 3rd disciples." Wang Chongfeng looked at Long Yu's surprised face and said proudly. It seemed that this Wang Chongfeng was really powerful. Ning Yixing and Lei Wenxing had been famous for less than 10 years. According to this old man, they had been trapped here for 10 years. If it wasn't for the fact that these 2 were his disciples, he would never have heard of their names. Impressive. Long Yu felt as if he had encountered a peerless treasure. This old man Wang Chongfeng was actually the master of the top 3 of the 7 great calamity stars. "My 3 good disciples, I didn't expect you to be famous in the entire heavenly mandate continent." Wang Chongfeng's expression became vicious, especially when he said the words, "good disciples." It was as if he said it through clenched teeth. This made Long Yu's heart skip a beat. Could it be that the 3 had ulterior motives towards Wang Chongfeng? If they didn't trick me into coming here, I wouldn't have been locked here for 10 years. The expression on Wang Chongfeng's face became indifferent. They wanted to obtain the Weeping Heaven blood cultivation technique that I cultivated, and they deceived me into falling into that bitch's trap and ambush. Unfortunately, these 3 idiots were similarly schemed against by that bitch, and they probably still think that I've already died at that bitch's hands. Who is that B***tch? Long Yu asked. You don't deserve to know her name. Wang Chongfeng's voice was cold and he said, however, I can teach you the Crying Heaven's blood technique. You will be my 4th disciple. Come, kowtow to me 3 times, and I will teach you the Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation Technique, Crying Heaven's blood technique. Wang Chongfeng stared at Long Yu arrogantly. The Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation Technique had always been people begging him to teach them. He felt that it was the same now. Who would be indifferent to a Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation Technique? If the cultivation technique was successful, they could master the laws of heaven and earth that were even stronger than the laws of the divine monument. And this was precisely what Wang Chongfeng's 3 disciples wanted to obtain. 3 kowtows? I can't do it. If you don't teach me, then forget it. Long Yu heard this and immediately shook his head. The Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation Technique was quite attractive. Unfortunately, to make him kowtow 3 times to the old man at the bottom of the lake, he really didn't want to do it. You, stinking brat, do you know that the number of Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation techniques in the entire Heavenly Mandate continent can be counted on one hand? Wang Chongfeng was shocked. This stinking brat was actually able to resist the temptation of the Heavenly Crystal Level Cultivation technique. It seemed that his will was quite strong. If you don't want 3 kowtows, then that's fine. Then 1 head will be 1 kowtow. Wang Chongfeng didn't force it, but went with the flow and said, Du Sun, Ning Yixing, Lei Wenxing, if you can bring the heads of these 3 brats to me, I will also teach you the Crying Heaven's blood technique. I will tell you in advance that if you want to leave the Heavenly Mandate continent, even if you comprehend the laws of the Divine Monument, you can't do it. Only by comprehending the Heavenly Crystal Level laws can you finally break through the 1,000 layers of Heavenly Dipper. Wang Chongfeng reminded, afraid that Long Yu wouldn't care about the Heavenly Crystal Level cultivation technique. Break through the 1,000 layers of Heavenly Dipper? Long Yu's attention was focused on this. If he wanted to leave the Heavenly Mandate continent, he had to break through the 1,000 layers of Heavenly Dipper? Unfortunately, Wang Chongfeng didn't say much about this. He only continued, this hidden bone abyss, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to go up even if you fall. This old man will teach you a movement technique so that you can fly up. Long Yu liked hearing this. This old man Wang Chongfeng didn't want Long Yu to stay and accompany him until he died. But thinking about it, if Long Yu stayed, who would take the heads of those 3 good disciples for him? The current Long Yu was only at the 4th tier of the secret realm of true spirit, but Wang Chongfeng seemed to see that Long Yu's talent was extraordinary, and he didn't doubt that he could take the heads of those 3 people. One should know that those 3 people were the top 3 of the 7 calamities of the Heavenly Mandate continent. Individually, they were many times more powerful than Yi Luan of Shanghai. Not to mention, the 3 of them knew each other. If they joined forces, there would be no one in the entire Heavenly Mandate continent who could rival them. How could it be so easy to take their heads? Of course, for Long Yu, the only thing he needed to think about now was how to leave this hidden bone abyss. Movement technique, Dance of the Dragon Sparrow. Wang Chongfeng said lightly. Listening to the name of this technique, it doesn't sound like something you cultivate. Long Yu looked at the old man and shook his head. This old man didn't look like a dragon sparrow at all. This is that bitch's technique. If you want to learn it, then learn it. If you don't want to learn it, I won't beg you. Wang Chongfeng snorted coldly. Learn. Chapter 245. Although Long Yu did not know who the bitch Wang Chongfeng was talking about he would not let go of the opportunity to learn a profound level movement skill. Profound level martial skills are the same as mortal level and spirit level martial skills. They are divided into 3 grades. Apart from that, there are also superior grade and supreme grade. As Wang Chongfeng spoke, he activated his Xian Qi and drew one picture after another on the surface of the dark green lake. The flowing water quickly formed the image of a dragon sparrow. It was a black phoenix with full wings. If it flew in the air, it would definitely cover the sky. Following the activation of Wang Chongfeng's profound Qi, this pitch-black phoenix, which was also known as the dragon sparrow, slowly danced on the surface of the blue water. Of course, this was to demonstrate the martial skill Dragon Sparrow Dance to Long Yu. The movement skill, Dragon Sparrow Dance, is a superior grade profound level. As long as you can learn this move, you will be able to walk in the air for a short period of time like a dragon sparrow. Wang Chongfeng's explanation made Long Yu look forward to it. As long as one could learn it, one would be able to walk in the air. It was indeed a superior grade profound level movement skill. It was stronger than all the movement skills he had come across before. But for you, if you want to learn a profound level martial skill, even if you are only at the beginner level, it will not be possible in a short period of time. Wang Chongfeng chuckled. If you want to learn this move, I'm afraid you will have to stay here with me for 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years? The corners of Long Yu's mouth curled up. 3 to 5 years was for an ordinary martial cultivator, but for him, it was definitely not that long. This lake is connected to the underground water. There are fish and prawns, so you can eat them to survive. Wang Chongfeng didn't know what Long Yu was thinking and continued to speak. The most important thing is your martial Dao realm. There is no way to improve quickly, but there are some aquatic plants at the bottom of the lake with good medicinal properties. Although you can't refine them into pills, if you absorb the heaven and earth spiritual qi, you will be able to step into the 5th level of the true spirit realm. Aquatic plants with good medicinal properties? Long Yu's expression changed slightly. That aquatic grass was definitely not ordinary for it to allow him to step into the 5th rank of the true spirit secret realm. He took a few steps forward and arrived at the edge of the green lake. Looking at the bottom of the lake, he saw several fluorescent aquatic plants growing at the bottom of the lake. Each of them emitted an extremely dense amount of heaven and earth spiritual qi, but it was hidden by the green lake water and couldn't be released. It's the fluorescent water spirit grass. Long Yu's expression immediately changed, and a hint of joy appeared in his eyes. The fluorescent water spirit grass was one of the 2 main ingredients needed to refine the profound grade pill, the heavenly flower water spirit pill. If he could find the other main ingredient, the heavenly flower vermilion fruit, the pill he refined would definitely be at least a mystic high-grade pill. It was a pity that the heaven flower vermilion fruit was extremely rare for men, and was as rare as the fluorescent water spirit grass. There are a total of 5 fluorescent water spirit grasses. I can pick one and directly absorb its spiritual energy, Long Yu pondered. Directly absorbing the spiritual energy from the herb was much less effective than refining it into a pill, but since he had 5 fluorescent water spirit grasses, it would be a waste to keep them, so there was no need to save them. In addition, Little Fox Demon Chihua could also absorb one first. Now that Chihua was Long Yu's greatest safeguard, he couldn't neglect it. As for the remaining 3, he would let them grow first. When Long Yu was about to leave, he would take them away. The essence of the dance of the dragon sparrow is in this painting. Brat, if you're smart, 3 to 5 years is more than enough time to comprehend it. After Wang Chongfeng completed the painting on the surface of the lake, he closed his eyes and said no more. If Long Yu was unable to comprehend the movement skill, Dance of the Dragon Sparrow, in 3 to 5 years, then with his comprehension ability, it would be impossible for him to kill his 3 former disciples for the rest of his life. On the contrary, the faster Long Yu comprehended the dance of the dragon sparrow, the higher his comprehension ability was, and the more likely he was to avenge Wang Changfeng. Long Yu was not in a hurry to lead Wu Long to the dance of the dragon sparrow. The dance of the dragon sparrow was drawn by Wang Changfeng on the surface of the lake, so it should last for a long time and would not dissipate quickly. What he was worried about now was how to pick the fluorescent water spirit grasses at the bottom of the lake. He would never dare to enter the water into the lake. Who knew if Wang Changfeng would suddenly do something to him? It could be seen that although Wang Changfeng was trapped by the soul restraining lock, he could still control everything in the lake. Otherwise, he would not be able to catch fish and prawns to eat, let alone draw the dance of the dragon sparrow on the surface of the lake. Long Yu looked around and quickly pulled out a thick vine from a grayish-white rock at the side. He wrapped a snare at the tip of the vine and threw it into the lake. Under his precise control, it immediately caught one of the fluorescent water spirit grasses. Up! Long Yu urged his Xian Qi and immediately caught the fluorescent water spirit grasses, pulled it out, and quickly held it in his hand. A burst of incomparably abundant heaven and earth spiritual qi was emitted from the fluorescent water spirit grasses, causing the little fox demon Qi Hua on Long Yu's shoulder to swallow its saliva. "This one is for you first." Long Yu handed the fluorescent water spirit grasses to the little fox Qi Hua, which made it very excited. It jumped to the side with its mouth, ready to absorb it. This scene caused Wang Changfeng, who was at the bottom of the lake, to fly into a rage. "Brat, do you know how precious this fluorescent water spirit grasses are? You actually fed it to a demonic beast, what a waste!" Wang Changfeng could not help but curse. The value of a fluorescent water spirit grasses was definitely not lower than the sky heart dragon grass that Long Yu had previously auctioned. Wang Changfeng naturally felt that it was a waste for him to give such a grade of herb to a demonic beast. But to Long Yu, no matter how high the value of the herb was, it could not compare to the martial realm of himself and the people around him. If the little fox demon Qi Hua could improve further and step into the 8th level of the true spirit realm, then Long Yu's ability to survive would increase by a lot. Following that, Long Yu ignored Wang Changfeng and continued to use the rattan to pick another fluorescent water spirit grasses. In the entire lake, there were only 3 fluorescent water spirit grasses, still growing in the green lake water. 3 days later, Long Yu opened his eyes and adjusted his breathing. "I've finally stepped into the 5th level of the true spirit realm." Long Yu stood up. He could feel that the power he possessed had doubled, and his battle prowess had become even stronger. Even if he faced an expert of the true spirit unity realm, Long Yu could still resist for a while and not be defeated quickly. Of course, if he was unlucky enough to meet an opponent of the 8th level of the true spirit realm, then he could only consider running for his life. "Even if I learn the dance of the dragon sparrow, and can fly above the hidden bones abyss like the dragon sparrow, I'm still in the depths of the demonic beast kingdom. It will be difficult for me to return alive," Long Yu thought to himself. Since that was the case, there was no need for him to rush back. He would just comprehend a few more levels of the dance of the dragon sparrow here, so that he would have more assurance when he escaped. After absorbing the fluorescent water spirit grasses, the little fox demon Qi Hua did not increase his cultivation. After all, he had just reached the unity of true spirit realm not long ago, and it was impossible for him to advance so quickly. Although he was bored, Qi Hua did not cultivate the dance of the dragon sparrow. There were some differences between human and demonic cultivators' martial skills. The biggest difference was the different body structures, which made it difficult for both sides to learn the other's martial skills. If he forcefully cultivated it, it was very likely that his meridians would be blocked, or he might even go berserk, or his meridians would explode. The little fox demon did not forcefully cultivate the dance of the dragon sparrow. Instead, after comprehending the unity of true spirit, he strove to integrate the power of Qi Hua's laws. According to the legends, The dragon sparrow is a black phoenix. It has a ferocious personality. Once it locks onto its target, it will not turn back until it is dead. Long Yu observed the dance of the dragon sparrow and began to comprehend the transcendent grade black rank movement technique. Soon, he realized that the dance of the dragon sparrow was indeed a transcendent grade black rank martial skill. To him, it was extremely difficult. Even if he wanted to comprehend it, it would take more than a day or two. In just a few days, Long Yu had memorized the entire dance of the dragon sparrow in his heart. The image on the surface of the Jade Lake finally began to dissipate. As long as he followed this image, he would be able to comprehend the dance of the dragon sparrow to the greater success realm. However, that was the best he could do. Old man Wang Chongfeng still hid a lot of things from Long Yu. In the future, if he wanted to comprehend the dance of the dragon sparrow to a deeper level, he would have to see the real dragon sparrow and gain some insight. Otherwise, he would have to come back to find him. As for the transcendent grade black rank movement technique, the dance of the dragon sparrow, as long as he could comprehend it to the greater success realm, the effect would be very shocking. The dance of the dragon sparrow can allow a martial practitioner to walk in the air like the dragon sparrow. If it is used to chase others, the speed will be extremely fast, coinciding with the dragon sparrow's ferocious personality. However, if it is used when escaping, it will not be as fast. Long Yu continued to comprehend the dance of the dragon sparrow. When he was hungry, he would use the vine to catch a few fish and prawns to eat with the Chihua. His days were quite leisurely. However, he did not know that in the Soaring Sky tribe's gathering place in the hidden bone abyss, the female Ghost Valley Wing envoy Hong Yu had quietly left the tribe again. It had been more than half a month since Long Yu's moon wings were cut off by the sword wings and he fell into the hidden bone abyss. Although she knew that Long Yu's chances of survival were slim, Hong Yu did not give up. Every day at noon, when the sun was the strongest, she chose to go into the hidden bone abyss, trying to find Long Yu. With her cultivation, under the corrosion of the dead spirit chi, she could only persist for less than an hour. Every time she searched for less than an hour, she had to leave the hidden bone abyss and return to the tribe to rest for a day. Only the next day could she recover and continue. This kind of behavior was very dangerous, because the dead spirit chi in the hidden bone abyss would often erupt into dead spirit storm. If they were to encounter a dead spirit storm, not to mention Hong Yu, who was an 8th level true spirit secret realm beast cultivator, even a heaven realm expert would be swept to the bottom of the bone concealing abyss and be eroded to death by the endless dead spirit chi. On this day, Hong Yu, as usual, brought the half of the moon wings that was cut off and entered the hidden bone abyss to search for traces of Long Yu. Chapter 246. At the bottom of the hidden bone abyss, Long Yu was practicing the dance of the dragon sparrow. In this half a month, he had almost mastered some of the key points of the dance of the dragon sparrow. He believed that he would soon break through the bottleneck and successfully learn the profound level supreme grade martial technique, the dance of the dragon sparrow. At noon, Wang Chongfeng, who was at the bottom of the lake, raised his head and squinted his old eyes. The dead spirit storm has started again. Dead spirit storm? Long Yu did not know what it was and was a little puzzled. That is a storm formed by the condensed dead spirit chi of the hidden bone abyss. Normally, the hidden bone abyss is not that deadly. However, if the dead spirit storm starts, even a heaven realm expert like me would not be able to survive. Wang Chongfeng said lightly. We will be fine here, right? Long Yu frowned slightly. With this lake, we will be fine. Wang Chongfeng sighed, looking a little lonely. Soon, Long Yu saw that in the sky above the lake, the whole hidden bone abyss, suddenly there was a storm formed by the condensed dead spirit chi, rising up. Not long after, it had swept through the whole hidden bone abyss, and the sound of the cold wind kept coming, making one's hair stand on end. Although near the lake, it did not seem to be affected by the dead spirit storm, but the surrounding temperature suddenly dropped, making Long Yu shiver uncontrollably. But the water in the lake did not freeze, and he did not know what kind of power this lake contained. Anyway, I will not casually step into the lake, Long Yu thought in his heart. Suddenly, the sound of a heavy object falling came from behind, causing him to look back in alarm, and saw that not far away from the protection of the lake, there was a Ghost Valley envoy who was swept into the dead spirit storm and fell heavily to the ground. It's Hong Yu. Long Yu saw the pair of rainbow wings of the Ghost Valley envoy, and his face changed. Originally, after his lunar wings were cut off by the Soaring Kong tribe's sword wings, he did not have the intention to return to the Soaring Kong tribe. Even if he wanted to go back, it would be after he had enough strength. But now, Rainbow Feather appeared in front of him and was swept into the dead spirit tempest. Most importantly, Rainbow Feather's hand was still tightly grabbing onto the half of Long Yu's moon wing that had been chopped off. Obviously, she'd come to the hidden bone abyss to search for him. Long Yu stood up. "Brat, what are you doing?" Seeing Long Yu's actions, Old Man Wang Chongfeng, who was at the bottom of the lake, was shocked. "The dead spirit storm is wreaking havoc outside. If you go out, you'll be courting death. Save them." Long Yu then thought back to the dance of the dragon sparrow that he had attained during the past few days. Due to the fact that he would occasionally unleash the palm of Samsara awakening to observe his future self, he had developed a good understanding of the dance of the dragon sparrow. It was just that he didn't want to expose it so soon, so he didn't really test it. But now, in order to save Hong Yu, he finally executed this move that he learned not long ago. Dance of the Dragon Sparrow. Long Yu's figure moved. Instantly, a pitch-black dragon sparrow aura scurried out of his body, forming a pair of broad black wings, bringing him up into the air. This pair of pitch-black wings was completely condensed from the dragon sparrow aura that he cultivated. It was much larger than the moon wings, and when executing the dance of the dragon sparrow, this movement technique, even if it was still at the beginner stage, the speed when Long Yu flew was already much faster than when he relied on the moon wings to fly previously. Seeing Long Yu execute the dance of the dragon sparrow and fly up like a black phoenix, Old Man Wang Chongfeng at the bottom of the lake instantly opened his eyes wide. It's only been less than a month's time, and this brat can actually learn Wu Long's dance of the dragon sparrow. A peerless genius, a peerless genius. But immediately after, he saw Long Yu fly out of the area protected by the lake under the guidance of that pair of black wings. His expression instantly changed drastically. "Stinking brat, why haven't you hurried back? If you die in the dead spirit tempest, how will this old man still take revenge?" Wang Chongfeng opened his eyes wide, simply unable to figure out why Long Yu would want to go and save a demonic beast that could not be saved at all. At this very moment, Long Yu's figure moved forward rapidly, flying out of the area protected by the jade-green lake all of a sudden. An incomparably ferocious and piercingly cold dead spirit tempest instantly enveloped his entire person, making him almost unable to maintain his balance and be swept away. Luckily, even if he condensed the Yellow Springs barrier, relying on the 9 nether chi's restraint towards the dead spirit chi, he temporarily stabilized his figure. Caught it. Long Yu grabbed the Ghost Valley Wing envoy Hong Yu's wrist with one hand and was delighted in his heart. Luckily, the dead spirit tempest just happened to blow her to the vicinity of this jade-green lake. Immediately after, he urged the profound chi in his body and pulled Hong Yu with the fastest speed, returning to the area protected by the jade-green lake. This thrilling scene made the old man at the bottom of the lake simply dare not believe it. Long Yu could actually enter the dead spirit tempest and rescue a demonic beast. This simply exceeded his understanding. One had to know that even if it was him, it was impossible to come and go freely in the dead spirit tempest. This stinking brat, what's that layer of strange barrier? I'm afraid that he has his own secrets too. No wonder he comprehended the dragon sparrow dance in a mere half a month. Wang Changfeng thought in his heart, this time was considered to have profited. With such a stinking brat, shouldn't he groom him well? At least let him have the ability to help him take revenge? How is it? Seeing Long Yu pull Hong Yu back and land by the side of the Jade Lake, the little fox Crimson Fire hurriedly bounced over and transmitted a thought to ask. Looks like death isn't far away. When Long Yu pulled Hong Yu back, he sensed that her body was already filled with dead spirit qi. Now, his face was grim. Without delaying for a moment, he immediately urged the netherworld qi and sent the netherworld qi into Hong Yu's body, expelling the dead spirit qi in her body with the fastest speed. This kind of action, it was not the first time that Long Yu did it. Back then, before obtaining the lunar heaven steel, he saved Lu Yuan like this too. That was how he could successfully obtain the lunar heaven steel. Before long, Long Yu used the netherworld qi to disperse all the dead spirit qi in Hong Yu's body. As he was not too familiar with the Ghost Valley Wing Envoy's body, the meridians, etc. were all different from humans. Long Yu still spent a bit more time. But fortunately, he rushed in time before Hong Yu's heart meridian was completely eroded. When Long Yu saved Hong Yu's heart meridian, his entire person heaved a sigh of relief. Finally settled. Now, even though the meridians in Hong Yu's body were severely damaged, if she recuperated properly, she should still be able to completely recover to her previous state. This lunar feather. Long Yu looked down. Hong Yu's rainbow-colored hand was still tightly holding the half of the lunar feather, which seemed to contain half of the consciousness of the Soaring Sky Tribe's tribe leader, Ju Hun. This lunar feather has been cut in half. I'm afraid it can't be restored. Long Yu sighed, and took out his half of the lunar feather. Both sides of the lunar feather touched together. Originally, Long Yu only wanted to restore this spirit-level top-grade combat weapon of the past, and did not intend to restore it to its original state. But very soon, Long Yu was shocked to find that the two sides of the lunar feather actually began to fuse with each other, and gradually connected together again. The traces of being cut by the Ghost Valley Wing Envoy's sword wings disappeared not long after. Such a magical thing. Not only was Long Yu surprised, even the old man at the bottom of the lake was surprised. Even this old man had never seen a damaged combat weapon that could automatically restore itself to its original state. It seems to be because it was modified by the 9 underworld dragon seal. Long Yu looked at the shocked expression of the old man at the bottom of the lake and thought to himself. Even the old man was shocked. Then the reason why the lunar feather could automatically restore itself was definitely something that even Wang Changfeng had never seen before. It must be because of the 9 underworld dragon seal. When the lunar feather was restored, Long Yu was overjoyed. This meant that he could now perform the dragon sparrow dance and activate the lunar feather at the same time, and burst out with greater speed. A powerful combat weapon with a powerful martial skill, of course, complemented each other, and greatly improved Long Yu's strength. The dead spirit storm in the hidden bone abyss was still going on, but a small area near the Jade Lake was calm and unaffected. Hong Yu did not wake up immediately, and it seemed that she still had to take care of her for a period of time. Brat, come here, this old man asks you, what is the most important thing in the martial world? The old man at the bottom of the lake asked in an old-fashioned manner. Of course, strength is the most important. Long Yu replied without even thinking about it. Wrong, the most important thing is not strength, but life. The old man chuckled. No matter how strong you are, once you die, there will be nothing left. So as a martial cultivator, no matter what, your life is the most important. So? Long Yu asked back. So, this old man has decided to teach you a defensive martial skill. The old man at the bottom of the lake said, as long as you call this old man master, this old man will teach you the strongest defensive martial skill that I have learned. I don't need to kowtow 3 times? Long Yu asked doubtfully. Of course not. However, after you leave this place, you must bring me the heads of those 3 fellows. You better remember this for your master," Wang Changfeng said with a slightly serious expression. "I haven't acknowledged you as my master yet, so don't say master anymore." Long Yu chuckled, not giving Wang Changfeng any face. "You brat, this old man is the leader of the 7 stars of calamity. Is it difficult for you to acknowledge me as your master?" Wang Changfeng was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. In the past, if he wanted to take in a disciple, who wouldn't fight for it? Now this brat actually didn't care about it. How preposterous! "It is indeed difficult," Long Yu answered truthfully. In this life, he didn't need anyone to be his master, and there was only one reason: he wasn't willing to be manipulated by anyone. "Fine, fine. Let's make a deal as a man." Wang Changfeng pondered about Long Yu's character, and finally dispelled the idea of taking him in as a disciple, and changed the way he said, "Say it." Long Yu nodded his head. He was already prepared to bargain in his heart. Chapter 247. Regarding Long Yu's scheme, Wang Changfeng naturally had a score in his heart. But now that he was trapped at the bottom of the lake by the God-forbidding lock, he could only be in a passive position. The crux was that Long Yu did not fall for this set of temptations. Next, this old man will teach you a defensive martial technique and an offensive martial technique. Adding them together, it's 3 martial techniques. Wang Changfeng said, 3 martial techniques, take it as my advance payment for those 3 heads. If the matter is accomplished, this old man will pass the cultivation method of heaven weeping blood to you. How about it? Defensive martial technique and offensive martial technique, what grade are they respectively? Long Yu narrowed his eyes. This had to be asked clearly lest something went wrong when the time came. Of course it's also mystic rank, but it can't reach transcendent grade. Wang Changfeng snorted lightly. Middle grade mystic rank offensive and defensive martial techniques, water-driving whirlpool and water-driving heavenly screen, are this old man's pride and joy. Middle grade mystic rank water-driving martial technique? Long Yu's heart stirred. These 2 martial techniques were actually Wang Changfeng's pride and joy. In this case, if displayed outside, it was very likely to be recognized by others. Then no problem, deal. Long Yu nodded his head. Middle grade mystic rank offensive and defensive martial techniques, it would be a waste not to learn. As for going to take those 3 heads, Long Yu had to act according to his capabilities. If he had enough strength, going and slaughtering those 3 former disciples of Wang Changfeng was nothing. Of course, when his own strength was insufficient, Long Yu definitely would not seek his own death. Gui Gu Wing envoy Hong Yu had yet to wake up, and Long Yu had already started cultivating this set of water-driving martial technique. The principle of this set of martial technique was to condense the water vapor in the surrounding air to carry out attack or defense. Hence, the possibility of being affected by the environment was higher. If it was by the lakeside, or in an environment that would make the surroundings more humid during a rainy day, the speed of executing this move would be very fast, catching people off guard. But if it was a dry area like a desert, wanting to execute this move would not be so easy. However, if it was successfully executed, the offensive power and defensive ability of this move would be extremely frightening. It would be even stronger than ordinary middle-grade, profound-level martial skills. Imperial Water Whirlpool, medial-grade profound rank. An offensive martial technique that gathers the surrounding water vapor and forms a whirlpool of water to attack the enemy. It has a strong penetrative ability and is especially suitable to deal with some defensive martial technique. Imperial Water Screen, profound level medial grade, defensive martial skill. Condensing water vapor to form a water barrier can defend against attacks from all directions. Due to the characteristics of water, this defensive ability is not particularly strong, But the most important point is that this water barrier can actually reflect a part of the attack power. If the water guard screen was cultivated to the transformation stage, then once the water guard screen was activated, it would be able to reflect 99% of the attack's force back to the attacker, and its effects were extremely terrifying. Wanting to cultivate a middle-rank profound rank martial skill to the transformation stage was definitely not an easy task. Even for a super cultivator like Wang Chongfeng, who stood at the peak of the entire Heavenly Mandate continent, it took him 10 years to finally cultivate the Imperial Water Screen to the level of transformation. Wang Chongfeng also carved the cultivation methods of these two martial skills on the surface of the Blue Lake for Long Yu to refer to. Long Yu cultivated for a few days, and finally grasped the common foundation of these two martial skills: water manipulation. Next, it was time to practice the Imperial Water Whirlpool or the Imperial Water Screen. Anyway, there was a lot of time, so Long Yu was not in a hurry to learn these two martial skills. While comprehending these two martial skills, he practiced the body technique Dance of Dragon Sparrow that he had just learned. His overall strength was improving at an extremely fast speed. After learning these martial skills, if I can avoid using the martial skills that come with the Dragon Seal of 9 Underworlds, then I will not use them. The Archean consciousness is really frightening, Long Yu thought to himself. Anyone would naturally be afraid of an unknown existence that might be dangerous to them. Long Yu was no exception. The Archean consciousness that appeared out of nowhere was too strong. He did not even have the confidence to defeat it. Just when he was practicing the martial skills, Gui Gu Wing envoy Hong Yu finally woke up after being unconscious for 3 days and 3 nights. And she obviously did not expect that she would still have the chance to wake up. When she woke up and opened her eyes, she saw a blue lake. Beside the lake was a little fox demon with fiery red fur. Wasn't this the fire fox that followed Long Yu before? She sat up and felt like her whole body was falling apart. She suffered a serious injury, as if her meridians were eroded by some power. Is it the death spirit Chi? Hong Yu thought to herself. She raised her head and saw a young martial cultivator dressed in black not far away. He seemed to be cultivating some sort of martial technique. Long Yu? He saved me? Hong Yu thought as she stood up. You finally woke up. I thought you wouldn't wake up. Long Yu sensed the commotion over there and transmitted a thought to it through the lunar wings. You saved me? Hong Yu's thought transmitted. What do you think? Long Yu did not comment and did not care much about Hong Yu waking up. He continued to cultivate those two profound rank martial skills. Streams of water condensed with a wave of his hand. Profound rank martial skill? Hong Yu saw through it with one look and her expression changed slightly. She did not expect that Long Yu did not die after falling into the bone burial abyss. Not only did he not die, but he seemed to have obtained some fortuitous encounter and comprehended some kind of profound rank martial skill cultivation method. Right at this time, her gaze finally looked towards the blue lake and saw the old man in ragged clothes who was trapped by the God-forbidding lock. He is? Hong Yu could not help but ask. He is a human martial cultivator senior. My martial skill was taught by him. Long Yu replied and then asked, Oh right, do you feel that you can still fly? If you can, then hurry and leave this place. The death spirit storm has already stopped. Hong Yu was slightly stunned and then transmitted a thought. I came to find you to go back. Go back? Long Yu narrowed his eyes. Go back where? To your soaring sky tribe? I am very sorry about what happened before. It is just that we did not expect that Swordwing would do such a thing to you. Hong Yu's thought was apologetic. I represent Master Kong Lei and Master Hong Yu to invite you back to our Soaring Sky tribe. In addition, I also want to thank you for saving me. You were sucked into the death spirit storm because of me? Long Yu was more or less certain now and could not help but feel puzzled. Even if the lunar wings had the consciousness of the Soaring Sky tribe's tribe leader, it was a new consciousness and not the previous Soaring Sky tribe's tribe leader. Master Kong Lei and Master Hong, you wanted him to go back so much? Then you tell me first, how is Swordwing now? If he is still fine, I think there is no need for me to go back with you. Long Yu transmitted a thought. Now, not only did Long Yu learn the black level transcendent martial skill, Dragon Sparrow Dance, but even his lunar wings had completely recovered. As long as he wanted to, he could leave this place at any time. Hong Yu would definitely not be able to catch up to him. Because of this, he did not want to go back to the Soaring Sky tribe. Although Master Kong Lei and Master Hong Yu were good to him, as a human, it was still unpleasant for him to be mixed with demonic beasts all day long. Master Kong Lei has already punished Swordwing with 3 months of confinement. I can guarantee that this will not happen again. Hong Yu's thought was rather sincere. Unfortunately, he only punished Swordwing with 3 months of confinement, and he wanted to send Long Yu away. It seems that in Master Kong Lei's eyes, my life is just a matter of 3 months of confinement. Long Yu faintly transmitted a thought. In that case, you cannot guarantee that no one will attack me again. After all, I am a human martial cultivator and you are demonic cultivators. Little Fox, let's go. Long Yu called out. Little Fox Chihua understood what Long Yu meant. He immediately jumped onto Long Yu's shoulder and laid down obediently. Senior, there is a demonic cultivator tribe of Gue Gai nearby. To prevent them from chasing us, I have to leave first. Long Yu looked at the bottom of the Jade Lake and said apologetically. He was apologetic not because he had to leave first, but because he had saved Hong Yu and caused Wang Chongfeng to be trapped here. The news might spread. It's fine. You go first. Wang Chongfeng smiled faintly. At least you have a conscience and know that you have exposed my position. But you don't have to worry about me. A group of demonic beasts can't do anything to me. Then, I will leave first. After Long Yu said that, he instantly performed Dragon Sparrow Dance. A pair of huge black wings extended from his back and brought him up into the sky. Hong Yu took a look and was instantly stunned. She didn't understand human language and didn't know that Long Yu was saying goodbye to Wang Chongfeng. She was still constantly transmitting thoughts to Long Yu, apologizing and explaining something. Unfortunately, Long Yu didn't want to care about this at all. Gue Gai's ghost sect tribe, Long Yu also put it on the list to deal with, but it wasn't for the Xiang Kong tribe. He just wanted to avenge Little Fox Chihua's father. Maybe when Long Yu had enough strength, he would meet with Hong Yu, Grandmaster Kong Lei and Grandmaster Hong Yu. But it definitely wouldn't be now. Long Yu had already memorized the cultivation methods of the 2 Imperial Water martial technique. After he returned to the human kingdom, he had to find a place with plenty of water to cultivate his martial technique. This was the most important thing to him. Of course, before he left, Long Yu didn't forget to pick up the 3 fluorescent water spirit grass. These 3 herbs were very expensive. Even if he didn't refine elixirs, he could sell them for at least 30 to 50 crystal nucleus, which could be exchanged for a lot of useful elixirs. Of course, Long Yu wasn't anxious about this. He had just advanced to the 5th level of the true spirit secret realm. He hadn't completely grasped the power of the 5th level of the true spirit secret realm, so he wasn't in a hurry to improve his martial arts realm. Although martial arts realm was important, the foundation was also very important. If he improved too quickly, his foundation wouldn't be stable and it would have a great impact on his future cultivation. Chapter 248. Long Yu had just flown for a while when Hong Yu spread her rainbow-like wings and chased after him. Lunar wings, let's go! While Long Yu was executing the dance of the dragon sparrow, he also activated the lunar wings. His entire body transformed into a streak of black light as he rapidly flew towards the top of the hidden bone abyss. At the same time, he used the yellow spring barrier to protect himself and Chihua, so that the dead spirit chi around them would not be too much of a hindrance. On the other hand, although Hong Yu was originally a demonic beast of the Ghost Valley who was good at flying, she could not fly fast because she had just recovered from her serious injuries. On top of that, she was constantly hindered by the death spirit Qi as she flew, causing her originally slow speed to become even slower. "Are we going to the human world?" Qihua, lying on Long Yu's shoulder, asked him telepathically. "Yes, let's find a place with water first. I need to master the water manipulation martial skill first," Long Yu answered. Qihua did not say anything more. He had already made up his mind to follow Long Yu first because he had nowhere else to go. He wanted to rebuild the Fire Fox tribe in the Butterfly Valley, but what could he do after that? The Ghost Sect tribe would definitely not let go of a rebuilt Fire Fox tribe. In the current situation, the demonic beasts of the Fire Fox tribe could only cultivate separately until they had the ability to fight against the Ghost Sect tribe. Only then could they gather again. LV9 of the True Spirit Secret Realm. Qihua was very clear about his goal. In addition, if he followed Long Yu, he should encounter many opportunities to fight and improve his combat ability. Long Yu did not look back, but he could feel Hong Yu flying behind him, but the distance between them was getting farther and farther. Until he finally rushed out of the gray fog of death aura, he finally left the range of the hidden bone abyss. The noon sun that he hadn't seen for a long time shone down, making his body feel warm. However, in Long Yu's heart, when he flew out of the hidden bones abyss, he suddenly felt a chill. "Look, it's that human martial cultivator. Big Brother Zigon, we really found that kid. What do we do now?" 3 Ghost Valley Wing envoys at the 7th level of the True Spirit Secret Realm actually appeared in the sky not far from Long Yu, flying around in search of something. One of the purple-winged Ghost Valley envoy was Zigon, who had provoked Long Yu in the Soaring Sky tribe. Zigon glanced at Long Yu as killing intent flashed across his eyes. "Kill him, of course." Ziqian sent out a thought. Without thinking, he flew toward Long Yu with his 2 followers. Both sides were very close to each other. Long Yu couldn't dodge, so he could only face it head-on. "Qihua, harass them for me. I'll kill one of them instantly." Long Yu communicated his plan to Qihua through his mind. This was not the first time that Qihua and Long Yu worked together. Suddenly, the 9-tailed True Spirit appeared in the air behind them, and then a scarlet whirlwind of fire swept toward the 3 people. "You're just a little fox demon, and you dare to attack our Ghost Valley envoy? You're overestimating yourself." Zigon's 2 followers did not care about the whirlwind at all. They casually displayed their skills and blocked the scarlet whirlwind of fire. As for Zigon, he completely ignored Qihua as he pounced towards Long Yu. Demonic skill, feather kill. Zigon's eyes flashed with killing intent, and then a series of purple wings flew toward Long Yu like flying knives. Obviously, he wanted to kill Long Yu in one move. Netherworld Barrier. With a wave of his hand, Long Yu condensed the Netherworld Qi and instantly blocked in front of him. Countless purple feathers flew toward Long Yu and bombarded the Netherworld Barrier. It didn't take long for the barrier to shatter, but unfortunately, Long Yu had already seized the opportunity to change his position. Dance of the Dragon Sparrow, Death Plunder. Long Yu's figure flickered, and with a flicker of his pitch-black wings, he appeared not far from Zigon's side. He realized that the stronger the killing intent in his heart, the faster the dance of the dragon sparrow could be performed, but the more celestial qi it consumed. Compared to other movement skills, the dance of the dragon sparrow consumed a lot of celestial qi. Even Long Yu had used up half of his celestial qi flying from the bottom of the bone-concealing abyss. He had to end this quickly. Dragon Fist of the Nine Nether, drunk in the Netherworld. Long Yu punched from the side. Zigon wanted to react, but he found that his body could not move. He had been bound by an invisible presence. Spirit of the Netherworld. Long Yu punched, and immediately the qi of the Nine Nether condensed, forming a road to the Netherworld, enveloping Zigon. Awakening Palm of Samsara. Because he was afraid that Zgon had some powerful defensive skills, Long Yu still used Awakening Palm of Samsara, reducing Zgon's cultivation to the 6th level of the true spirit realm. Stop! Right at this moment, Hong Yu finally flew up from below, and with a single glance, she saw that Long Yu was currently in an intense battle with Zgon. He wants to kill me, but he won't let me fight back? Long Yu sneered, and immediately punched the yellow dragon, hitting Zgon's chest. The chi of the 9 nether instantly penetrated his heart meridian, killing him instantly. The Ghost Valley's wing envoy, Zgon, who had lost his life, no longer had the ability to float in the air. Seeing that he was about to fall, Long Yu grabbed him and flew away. The 2 followers of Zgon did not expect that Zgon would be killed by Long Yu in one move, and were instantly dumbfounded. The 2 of them were still dealing with the scarlet fire whirlwinds, and finally managed to extinguish the flames, but Zgon was killed, and even his corpse was taken away. Stop! Hong Yu saw this and was instantly furious. Originally, she did not have a good impression of human martial cultivators, but because of Master Kong Lei, for the benefit of the entire Soaring Sky tribe, she was willing to walk with Long Yu and communicate with him. Now that she saw Long Yu kill her Soaring Sky tribe's clansmen, she was naturally furious. This feeling was like a hunter raising a wolf, wanting the wolf to kill the enemy, but before the wolf could kill the enemy, it killed one of the hunter's family members first. Now, Hong Yu's mood was exactly the same as the hunter. This is just the sword of the sword wings, I return it to you. Long Yu faintly transmitted his thoughts, and then without any hesitation, he dragged Zgon's corpse and flew further and further away. Due to the current situation of the Soaring Sky tribe, Hong Yu and the other Ghost Valley envoy should not chase after them, otherwise, if they were seen by the Ghost Sect tribe, only death awaited them. The hatred of that sword was finally avenged. Long Yu did not feel that there was anything wrong with him killing Zgon. After all, it was Zgon who wanted to kill him first. That strong killing intent could not deceive his senses. Moreover, previously, he did not do anything to harm the Soaring Sky tribe, but the sword wings of the Soaring Sky tribe waved a sword at him. That sword cut off half of his moon wings, if it was not for the blue lake in the hidden bone abyss, and the old man who was locked in it, Long Yu was afraid that he, Long Yu, would have long been dead. Hong Yu's heart was good, and she desperately wanted to come down to find him, but he also saved Hong Yu's life. From this point of view, the 2 sides were even. In short, Long Yu clearly distinguished kindness and hatred, and his conscience was clear. Still chasing? The 2 followers of Zgon looked at each other, not knowing what to do. Sure enough, a human martial cultivator coming to our tribe is not a good thing. You go back and report this matter to Master Kong Lei. I will chase first, and follow him closely. Hong Yu's face was gloomy. But, if we chase, what if we are discovered by the Ghost Sect tribe? One of the followers was somewhat hesitant. If we don't chase, will we just forget about Zgon's enmity? Hong Yu retorted. We'll go right now. Only then did the 2 followers hurriedly flap their wings and fly down the mountain, preparing to go back and report this matter to the Soaring Sky tribe. Long Yu never thought that Hong Yu would actually directly chase after him. He carried Zgon's corpse in his hand, and his flying speed decreased quite a bit. With a thought, he saw a dense forest below and quickly flew down. In the dense forest, he took advantage of Hong Yu's temporary loss of vision, and threw Zgon's corpse into the 9 nether space. The corpse of a Ghost Valley wing envoy in the 7th level of the true spirit realm was worth a lot, and Long Yu wouldn't recklessly waste God's gift by throwing it away. Immediately after, Long Yu flew out from the dense forest again, and when he appeared in front of Hong Yu again, Zgon's corpse in his hand was already gone. The reason why he did this was because he didn't want the existence of the 9 nether space to be known by the demonic beasts of the Soaring Sky tribe. Where did you throw Zgon's corpse? When Hong Yu saw the situation, her face instantly became even gloomier, and she chased after Long Yu with her fastest speed. With her cultivation of the 8th level of the true spirit realm, once she caught up to Long Yu would definitely be captured without putting up a fight. However, she completely didn't expect that Long Yu had only fallen into the bone-concealing abyss for a month, and he had learned a shocking movement martial skill, and his flying speed became even faster than her. Obviously, a month ago, she needed to slow down her speed, and Long Yu could barely keep up. Didn't you see? He was thrown in the dense forest. Why aren't you going to find his corpse and bring it back? As Long Yu increased his speed, he transmitted his thoughts, making Hong Yu, who was chasing after him, even more furious. Hong Yu only wanted to capture Long Yu now, and she didn't want to think about anything else. As for Zigon's corpse, it wouldn't be too late to look for it after capturing Long Yu. Very quickly, she received the news that the experts of the Soaring Sky tribe had already been dispatched, and several peak experts of the 9th level of the true spirit realm were chasing after them at an extremely fast speed. Hong Yu relaxed, and focused on following Long Yu. Her task was to keep a close eye on Long Yu. As for Long Yu, his dantian that had been tempered by the heavenly thunder started to throb rapidly, increasing the recovery speed of his entire body's profound chi by several times. At the same time, the pitch-black dragon sparrow wings on his back quickly dissipated, leaving only a pair of moon wings to bring him forward. As a matter of course, his speed also decreased because of this. It wasn't that he didn't want to leave this Soul Valley Demon Kingdom as soon as possible, but it was that the profound chi in his body couldn't support the consumption any longer. If he didn't stop the dragon sparrow dance, he would be caught up very quickly. When Hong Yu saw that Long Yu's speed had slowed down, she couldn't help but be overjoyed, guessing that Long Yu's profound chi was almost exhausted. Chase! Hong Yu's pair of wings were like a rainbow, cutting through the sky, and the distance between her and Long Yu was getting closer and closer. Chapter 249. Long Yu took Chihua, who was lying on his shoulder, and quickly fled into the distance. He could only rely on the position of the sun to determine the direction, so he didn't know if he was going in the right direction. Anyway, he could fly, so it didn't matter which direction he went. Even if he didn't pass through the Butterfly Valley, he could still leave the Ghost Valley. So many people have chased after me. They must really have a deep grudge against me. Long Yu felt the numerous winged messengers of the Ghost Valley chasing after him, and he sighed. Not long ago, the Soaring Sky tribe treated him as a distinguished guest, invited him, and offered to teach him alchemy, as if they were on good terms. Now, Long Yu was just defending himself. He killed Zi Qian of the Soaring Sky tribe, so the whole tribe regarded him as a great enemy. Even if the sword wings cut off the moon wings, causing Long Yu to fall into the bone-hiding abyss, he was only punished with 3 months of confinement. In the Soaring Sky tribe, even Grandmaster Konglei didn't see Long Yu as a human. He only saw him as a tool. Long Yu hated being used as a tool the most in his life. Chihua, I'm going to speed up. Hold on. Long Yu reminded Chihua with his thoughts, and then he displayed the dance of the dragon sparrow again. Like a pitch-black phoenix, he flew across the sky. Many demonic beasts on the ground looked up when they saw Long Yu flying in the sky. Then, they saw the numerous winged messengers of the Ghost Valley chasing after Long Yu. Which tribe are these winged messengers from? Many demonic beasts wondered. It should be known that demonic beasts were very well informed. Now in the whole Soul Valley Demon Kingdom, the most eye-catching thing was the division of the winged messengers of the Ghost Valley. The grievances between the 3 tribes, and the news released by the Ghost Sect recently said that whoever could find the shelter of the Soaring Sky tribe would be given a lot of rewards. Because of this, the members of the Soaring Sky tribe rarely appeared outside, in order to prevent being seen by other demonic beasts and then reported to the Ghost Sect. But this time, they were determined to catch up with Long Yu. Long Yu was only at the 5th LV of the true spirit secret realm. Although he was flying very fast now, his xian qi would eventually be exhausted. As long as they caught Long Yu and returned to the bone-hiding abyss, they would not be found by the demonic beast. Chase. Long Yu flew all the way, and after more than 2 hours, he finally saw an endless, towering mountain range appeared in front of him. In this period of more than 2 hours, he would fly with the lunar wings for a while, and then he would use the dance of the dragon sparrow to maintain the distance between him and the group of Ghost Valley winged emissaries. And the xian qi in his body was finally running out. If he stopped using the dragon sparrow dance now, then his speed would definitely slow down and he would be caught up by Gui Gui. Thus, even if his profound qi was about to be exhausted, he could only try his best to fly forward. Up ahead, the towering mountain range was getting closer and closer. Gradually, they could see the white snow, the crisscrossing peaks and valleys, and the clouds and mist lingering around it. Qihua, it's up to you. When they were about to enter the mountain, Long Yu sent a thought to Qihua. Yes. Qihua nodded his head, then turned around and unleashed his 9-tailed true spirit towards the group of Gui Gu emissaries behind Long Yu. A fiery whirlwind instantly burst out. In an instant, the winged messengers of the ghost sect lost sight of Long Yu. Relying on the whirlwind of fire, Long Yu hid himself and quickly flew into the clouds of the snowy mountains. A gust of cold wind blew, letting Long Yu know that he had entered the snowy mountains. As long as he crossed this snowy mountain, he would be out of the depths of the Ghost Valley. He stopped the dance of the dragon sparrow and tried to recover his xian qi as quickly as possible. At the same time, he continued to fly forward with the wings. However, since he killed Zigon, there seemed to be a problem with the wings. Originally, Long Yu and the lunar wings were in perfect harmony, and he did not need to deliberately control the lunar wings. The lunar wings would automatically bring him flying. But now, the wings seemed to be less compatible with him, or it was dissatisfied with Long Yu. Unfortunately, this dissatisfaction was forcibly suppressed by the 9 underworld dragon seal. Long Yu could still use the lunar wings to fly. However, the longer he flew, the stronger the resistance he felt from the lunar wings. Could it be that I killed its clansmen, so it is unhappy? Long Yu was puzzled. Although under the suppression of the 9 underworld dragon seal, the wings had no chance of turning the tables, it also meant that Long Yu and the wings would definitely not have the chance to be compatible. Unparalleled harmony was the highest realm of compatibility between a martial cultivator and a combat weapon. Unfortunately, this highest realm was impossible for Long Yu and the lunar wings, a combat weapon. Since the Soaring Sky tribe treated Long Yu as a tool, then he, Long Yu, would also treat the lunar wings as a tool. Anyway, with the 9 underworld dragon seal, the lunar wings would not be able to run away, and its function would not be weakened in the slightest. In the snow-capped mountain range, Long Yu quickly passed through the various snowy peaks, and very quickly, he disappeared from sight of the group of Ghost Valley wing envoys. However, Long Yu knew that they must still be chasing after him. The group of Ghost Valley winged envoys were all at the 9th level of the true spirit realm. If any of them were to catch up to him, Long Yu could only wait to be captured. His next move was extremely important. Long Yu passed through the snowy mountains. He did not go all the way through the snowy mountains, but along the snowy mountains all the way to the left. The group of Ghost Valley envoys did not expect that after Long Yu entered the snowy mountains, he did not immediately cross the snowy mountains and leave the depths of the Ghost Valley. Instead, he flew along the snowy mountains in another direction. They all chased after the snowy mountains, and did not expect that Long Yu was flying further and further away. "Brother Long, you can even think of such a plan, you are too amazing." Little Fox Demon Qihua suddenly became quite admiring of Long Yu. Unfortunately, Long Yu did not think that this was a brilliant plan. When he received the words "Brother Long" from Qihua, he did not know whether to laugh or cry. Was it really good to be called Big Brother by a little fox demon? It's the group of Ghost Valley envoys that are too stupid, but we still can't let our guard down. As long as we have not left the Ghost Valley, we are still in danger." Long Yu transmitted his thoughts, and then changed his direction, heading towards the other side of the snowy mountain. A vast grassland appeared in front of Long Yu and Little Fox Demon Chihua. "This is the periphery of the Soul Valley Fey Kingdom." Chihua's eyes widened. He was only 12 or 13 years old this year. He had always followed the Fire Fox tribe and lived in the depths of the Soul Valley Fey Kingdom. At worst, he lived in Butterfly Valley. He had never been to the periphery of the Ghost Valley. "Yes, this is it." Long Yu nodded and looked around. There was a blue sky, white clouds, and lush grassland. If not for the fact that he was still in the Soul Valley Fey Kingdom, he really wanted to put down his wings and rest. Unfortunately, his profound chi was almost exhausted, and he had to return to the human kingdom as soon as possible. Even if he returned to Chaos Sound City, it was better than being captured by the Ghost Valley envoys of the Soaring Sky tribe. He flew all the way and soon crossed half of the grassland. In a few hours, he would be able to return to the human kingdom, and the profound chi in his body had finally been completely restored. It was also at this time that several black dots gradually appeared in the sky behind him. The Ghost Valley Wing envoys were actually still in hot pursuit, and had actually chased him all the way here. Dragon Sparrow Dance Speed. Although Long Yu was only at the beginner stage of the profound level martial arts skill, his speed was far faster than those Ghost Valley envoys at the 9th level of the True Spirit Secret Realm. The black wings spread out and Long Yu's speed soared. In an instant, he flew across the sky. Far behind him, several Ghost Valley Wing envoys quickly caught up, only to find that their speed was no match for Long Yu's. These few hours of delay had actually allowed Long Yu's profound chi to almost recover, but they did not give up. Obviously, unless there was no chance at all, they would not let Long Yu go. This was not only because Long Yu had killed Ziqian, but more importantly, the lunar wings on his back were the biggest reliance of the Soaring Sky tribe to join forces with another tribe. Without the dragon defense and the lunar wings, which was the consciousness of the Soulless clan, the other strategists' clan would definitely not join hands with the Soaring Sky clan to fight against the Ghost Sect clan. Long Yu flew all the way, and soon he saw the outermost mountain range of the Ghost Valley of Heavenly Soul. The entrance of the Ghost Valley appeared in front of him, which made him feel a little lucky. Fortunately, he did not go the wrong direction, otherwise he would be in trouble. He ignored the martial practitioners of the Jianghu at the entrance of the Ghost Valley, and directly flew over them. Finally, he returned to the human kingdom. However, when Long Yu looked back, he saw that the Ghost Valley envoys were still chasing him at their fastest speed, which made him frown slightly. Still chasing? In this case, this is the only way. Long Yu thought to himself. After flying for a while, he finally saw the magnificent Mixed Sound City in front of him. Under the gaze of countless martial practitioners of the Jianghu in the Mixed Sound City, Long Yu stopped the Dragon Sparrow Dance, put away the lunar wings, and landed on the city wall. There were definitely more than 100,000 martial practitioners of the Jianghu in the Mixed Sound City. Even if there were no experts of the LV9 True Spirit Realm among them, such a large number of martial practitioners was still a very strong force, which was definitely not something that the Ghost Valley envoys could fight against. Seeing that Long Yu had landed in the Mixed Sound City, the Ghost Valley envoys lingered in the sky for a long time, and finally left reluctantly. Now that Long Yu had entered the human city, they could not enter the city to catch him. A crisis had been resolved just like that. However, Long Yu knew that he had just escaped from the tiger's mouth and entered the wolf's den. Although the Ghost Valley envoys of the Soaring Sky tribe wanted to capture him, the martial practitioners of the Jianghu in the Mixed Sound City also wanted to tear him into pieces. In particular, not only did he kill the biggest gang member in the city, Ghost Headblade, but he also caused the disappearance of alchemist Feng Hai. Now, it was a little more than a month since Feng Hai entered the Ghost Valley of Heavenly Soul. Mixed Sound City had just officially announced the disappearance of alchemist Feng Hai, and this was the time when the hatred was at its deepest. It's long you catch him. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.